Progressive.com/free.
We all know just because gifts for loved ones can look like flowers, a spa day, or maybe even planning date night. But what about something that will truly last and protect your loved ones along the way? I'm talking about life insurance. I called SelectQuote to secure our coverage and couldn't believe how easy and affordable it was. I'm 40, and my $500,000 policy was only $16 a month. My husband's also 40, and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. And with their same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. With monthly payments less than the cost of a bouquet of flowers, this is the perfect time to make sure your family is protected.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-596-2626 or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-596-2626. 1-800-596-2626. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
KZUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. You're listening to the home of Jim Rome, Rich Eisen, and DK on the Sports Tip. This is Wildcats Radio 1290. Live from the CNWT.
Wait, what's the CNWT?
Central Northwest Tucson. Duh.
It's DK on the Sports Tip with your host, David Kelly.
Radio. Just when I thought I was out, they drug me back in.
Featuring J.W. Madden.
Don't tell me about flip-flops, man. I'm a native.
David Amata.
Hey, that's Dragon Ball to you.
And Cricket getting you home with traffic and weather.
Camp on Melt Lemon, not in the left lane on the freeway.
Here we go! And now, a man who has not one, but three first names, David Scott Kelly.
Needless to say, it was not a good night for Arizona women's basketball up in Flagstaff.
They're going to say that was after the shot. Doesn't look like NAU's going to the foul line. 20 seconds are on the shot clock, so the Cats might have just picked up a break, but Isis to the bench with three personals. Knezovic back out there. Ball's inbounded between the circles. Feldman's going to step into a three-pointer over Jones, and she's got it down. NAU now 3 of 5 from three-point range in the second quarter, and it made it just a one-point game. It looked like the Wildcats were going to run and hide. And now when Cunningham is trying to set a screen, Feldman falls down, and a late whistle is going to make that her third personal. Brea's asking for an explanation. Cats looking for their first points in 3 minutes as Jones along the baseline to the left stops at Glancy, tries to draw some contact, can't get a shot up or a whistle. Rebound is pulled down by Beatty and eventually out to Feldman. NAU with another chance to reclaim a lead as she gets inside the foul line. Kick it out, three on the way. That's off the side rim, but a putback too strong. Rebound by Glancy as she's fouled going up. That might be on Jones, and that might be her third. That is on Jones, and that's her third.
Yeah, that's kind of the way it went down last night. Brea Cunningham, who we had talked about, had been so good at controlling the fouls this season. She would foul out. Isis Bay would foul out. And the Wildcats playing without their starting point guard and leader, Jada Williams, who we found out after the game is in concussion protocol, blown out at Northern Arizona. 92-75. The Wildcats went to Flagstaff and gave up 92 points to Northern Arizona. Now, granted, Jada Williams didn't play. That's a huge loss for Arizona. But Arizona, even without Jada Williams, should be able to go to Flagstaff and beat Northern Arizona. And they didn't. Anytime an Arizona Wildcat team loses to Northern Arizona, that is a bad loss. Whether it's football, when it happened to Jed Fish and Company, it has not happened on the men's basketball side, at least of late. But that's a bad loss. You cannot lose to the Little Sisters from Flagstaff, ever.
Unless it's cross country.
Of course, yeah. That's probably the only sport where you can lose. Cross country, distance running, 10,000, 5,000, all those races in outdoor track. Yeah, you can lose those. to the Little Sisters from Northern Arizona, but you should not lose on the basketball court.
You mentioned 92 points, DK. They only had 12 points 12 minutes into the game. So
Yeah.
a point a minute for the first 12 and with 92 for the whole 40-minute game. So they really turned it on there in the second quarter after the foul issues.
It was a 16-point lead. Arizona had a 16-point lead. Early in this game, they were looking pretty good, but then like you saw or heard there, the fouls started to happen, and Northern Arizona shot the lights out. 10 of 32 from 3 in this game. Leah Beatty hit 5 of 8, so she hit half of those 10 three-pointers to finish with 17 points. They had 6 players in double figures, did Northern Arizona, in beating U of A and handing the Wildcats their first loss of the season, 92-75. Paulina Paris led the Wildcats. She had 20 points in the game. She nailed 3 trays to go along with 8 rebounds and 3 assists. 16 for Sanaya Ja. Sanaya actually stayed out of foul trouble, but she still turned the ball over 4 times. That has been an Achilles heel for her, not being able to take care of the basketball. Skylar Jones, 11. Brea had 10 with 6 rebounds, but a loss. And the ladies will come home now and take on Grambling State Saturday. It has been look, they've played a lot of games in a short period of time to start this season. Have the women, they've traveled a lot to play these games, maybe more than they probably should be traveling. They went to play and going and not traveling to play other Power Fours. I mean, traveling to play mid-majors. They went to San Diego to play UC San Diego. They went to Chicago to play Chicago State. And then they took the bus trip up to Flagstaff to take on Northern Arizona.
And, DK, we talked all week last week about those 2 trips or what? Those 2 trips were for players on Adia's roster to go and see their families.
Exactly. A chance to go play at home in front of the home cooking. But it wears on you. It wears on, and especially when those games come. You talk about the men. The men have had a week off. I mean, these ladies have played a lot. Their season started on November the 4th, the same day the men. And this was their 6th. So they played 6 games in, 17 days? 16 days yesterday? 6 games in 16 days. That's a lot. That's a lot. No excuses. Obviously, we're not making excuses. You still can't lose to Northern Arizona. But that's still a lot of games to play in a short period of time. And there hasn't been a lot. Again, you got a new team. You got a lot of new players. You're playing a lot of games, which means there's not a lot of quality practice time in between to work on things. And then you got to play Saturday, and then really it's like there's not a lot of days off after that. You play Saturday, you turn around, you got to go to Palm Springs and play on Tuesday and Wednesday. So it's been a little bit of a gauntlet here for the ladies in the early going. They had handled it up to this point, but that's a good Northern Arizona team. Don't get me wrong, that is a good Northern Arizona team. They will probably win the Big Sky Conference, but it's still Northern Arizona. And you should still beat Northern Arizona if you're Arizona. Let's hear from the head coach, Adia Barnes, after the game about the disappointing 92-75 loss to the Lady Jacks.
In second quarter, they got hot. We couldn't defend them. We got in a little bit of foul trouble, so we started playing a little bit more passive. And they just, 30 points in the second quarter, 31 in the third. You're not going to win games like that. They just did whatever they wanted starting that second quarter, and it was brutal. Hats off to them. They came out ready, and I called it from the warm-ups. We had 0 intensity in warm-ups. We were very lackadaisical, and they were on point. And I said that. I called them over, and I said, the way you warmed up, you're going to get your asses kicked. And we got our asses kicked. So, there's a point where you got to have some pride. Right now, we got to work. We're going to work. And right now, we're not able to guard in a man or a zone. We aren't tough like we should be, so we're gonna get there, and it's gonna be a process. But we don't lay down for anybody. At times we're too busy, worrying about a missed call or something. We need to not do that, and that's not how I want to coach a team and does it. So I have to instill that and not allow that.
You had 4 players who had 3 personal fouls in the second quarter. How big of an impact was that, especially on the defensive intensity, especially in the interior? It seemed like a lot of the damage was happening on the perimeter, but your post players weren't available.
Yeah,
I
mean, they had stupid fouls. Like, at the end of the day, the guards aren't containing, but the post players can't slap down at the end. So that was lack of discipline. Right now we're not disciplined. And it really showed. And this is I said before the game, very tired time. But this is how it's going to be sometimes throughout the year. So we have to learn how to handle some adversity. And right now we're young and we're not able to handle that adversity. And missing Jada was big, not because of the points, or it's because of the floor general she is. And we missed that. We did not have that today. And I think just figuring out a way through some adversity, like little things that we always do, help the helper. We weren't doing that. And I think the things that aren't acceptable with that, I'm not upset about losing. We can lose a game here. I'm upset about the lack of hustle and intensity, or diving after balls, 50-50 balls. That's the effort stuff that's not acceptable.
Is that what was really allowing NAU to have the open three-point
shots?
Oh,
absolutely. I mean, we're helping off the strong side. We don't help off the strong side. So that's lack of discipline and that's lack of repetition. So that tells me go back to basics and drill that stuff. Not diving on the floor, watching it. That's not okay. Or they have a fast break layup. They miss it, then they get the offensive rebound. Those are things that are the non-negotiables that aren't acceptable. So those are things that we're going to look at and we're correct and get better at.
This is an NAU team that doesn't really play zone, but played the last 3 quarters in a 2-3.
They played a ton of zone because we couldn't attack the zone.
And what did you need to have done to attack the zone?
We need to be able to catch the ball in the middle of the zone. We need to be able to hit shots, attack the gaps. We all stood with the ball on top of our head. And we were 2 for 9 from the 3 in the second quarter. So I knew they were going to zone us the rest of the half. And we just don't have really the ability to shoot it, loosen them up, or to attack the gaps.
Even with that, though, you score 75 points.
Yeah. So to me, like with the lack of execution, poor offense, that wasn't the problem. The problem was our pride on defense and our hustle. And there was at least, I can count off the top of my head, 10 50-50 balls they come up with. So that tells me they want it more. So they deserve to win this game. They just went there and they killed us. So they deserve that, because if you're not going to hustle and you're not going to value every possession, you're not going to win games. So this is a good learning lesson for us, and I'm okay with this because I had a feeling it was going to happen, and we were primed for the picking anyways, because you have to be able to, when you're tired, figure out a way to get up. You have to, when things are hard, come together, not complain at each other. And we are young, and we don't have that yet, but we're going to get that.
Got Paris, who had 20 to lead the way offensively. Was she performing well on the
I think she did a great job. I mean, she's playing with a mask. I think she did the best she could at running us. I think she played well. I think Paulina came to play and did some really good things. But as a team, we just didn't have it. And I think that there's no excuse. But the things that aren't excusable is the effort. We don't allow. I think in my career at Arizona, my 9 years, I don't think we've ever given a team 90 points. Maybe my first or second year there against Stanford when they were a top 3 team in the country. But we've never, given a team, in a game that we should win. I mean, hats off to them, but we should win this game. And to come in here and give them 90 points, that is lack of pride, and that's lack of defense. And we have to improve and get better.
Not to belabor the point, but 90 points after holding them to 11 in the first.
And they averaged 75.
Yeah,
that's a problem.
That is a problem, as the coach said. You come out lackadaisical in warm-ups, you gonna get your ass kicked, and that's what happened last night.
They gave up 91 time last year, DK. 2 OT game versus Juju.
Right.
At Juju.
At Juju.
Yeah, I think. No. That was the one here at home.
Oh, okay.
Remember that one there at home where they
here.
almost won there at the end? Yeah, lost by 2 points in 2 overtimes. So it took 2 overtimes for any team last year to score 90 versus the Cats.
Big 12 freshman of the week, Lauren Swan, played 21 minutes, 2 of 7, 1 of 4 from 3, just 5 points. We heard her earlier in the week. She's dealing with a shoulder issue. It sounded, just listening to the broadcast, like that might have gotten banged during the first half of the game. And that unfortunately sounds like it's going to be something she deals with the whole season. And we'll have to kind of watch that and see how she works through that. It was I think Coach said it was a separated shoulder she had in high school. And she's already had some issues. Fell on the floor going for a ball in San Diego. And got it popped out again in Chicago, or popped it and got hit on it in Chicago. And again, it sounded like during the broadcast she got hit on it again last night and was in some discomfort there during the game. So we'll keep an eye on that as we move forward. Obviously, Jada Williams, you hope the best for her and that she can get back out onto the floor. I would imagine that I would be shocked if she plays Saturday against Grambling State. You should not need, you do not need Jada Williams to beat Grambling State at home. You should not, and you do not. And then we'll hopefully have her back for the Acrisure Invitational over in Palm Springs early next week.
Just to finish your point about NAU, DK, very good team. Last year they were 15-3 in conference and picked to win this year, 25-9 overall. So that's a quality small program.
It is. Very much so. I mean, again, these are some good small you talk about UNLV. That's a team that's, won 3 Big West titles, and they're probably going to win it again this year. So you're playing the best of the teams at those levels that you've got. And maybe not Chicago State. I don't know how good they really are, but
and the idea of going into a building of a team that you're quote unquote supposed to beat, DK, in the world of the 3-point, in the air of the 3-point line, and teams taking full advantage of it. When the crowd gets going and those players start to feel themselves on their home rims, anything can happen. Yeah. And that's what happened last night.
Absolutely. All right, you can see JW Madden if you're watching on one of our many video streams, YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitch. You cannot see me again. My camera was working yesterday. I did nothing to this system. I don't know why I come here today. My camera's not working. So you can hear me, but you can't see me if you're watching on one of our many video streams. We're going to talk some Arizona athletics, football and basketball. Brian Jeffries will join us here coming up in our next segment at 3:20-ish. Matt Muehlbach, top of the 5 o'clock hour. We'll talk to Matt Muehlbach, who played in one of the games against Duke back in the day. In fact, the last time they came here to McHale Center, Matt Muehlbach was on the floor. Kelvin Ifan, the captain, will also join us for his Thursday visit as we take you up to Thursday Night Football. My Cleveland Browns, David Amata Dragon Balls, Pittsburgh Steelers, duking it out tonight. The rivalry is renewed, and I got two, I should say. I got 2 best bets for you on that game. We'll get those to you as well straight ahead. Plus, I think Cricket's got tickets today as well. Cricket's got some tickets for you. We'll dive into that, too, as we move forward here till about 5:30. All right, Cricket right now, though, is getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5s with your traffic and your weather.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. And collisions reported Speedway near Campbell, Escalante west of Kolb Road, and also La Cañada and Lambert Lane. Some light freeway slowing on I-10 both directions approaching the Ajo-Kino connection. 51 our overnight low, sunny skies, 84 tomorrow and 81 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Ready Whip. Topping off a dessert or swirling it onto hot cocoa, Ready Whip is here to whip up some holiday cheer. Ready Whip is made with real cream, so pick up a can or 2. Ready Whip.
Tune into Wildcats Radio 1290 weekly for Brett Brennan's football press conference, where you can catch up on all things Arizona football this season. Sponsored by Coors Light. Choose chill. Official corporate sponsor of Arizona Athletics.
Hey homeowners, are you ready to chill out and go green? Goodfellas Air Conditioning can help. Introducing our latest lineup of energy-efficient systems featuring the new R32 refrigerant. It's cooler, greener, and better for the planet. You'll enjoy lower energy bills and a smaller carbon footprint. Not a fan of change? Goodfellas has a surplus of reliable R410 systems available. Unsure about what system you have or have questions? Give us a call for a free inspection. Goodfellas Air Conditioning, keeping it cool, keeping it green, and always keeping you comfortable.
Yo, 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 Dad is in the house. What do you call the NordVPN Black Friday deal, huh? The Block Friday deal. Because you block online threats. Black Friday, Block Friday, get it? It's hilarious. Get the NordVPN Black Friday deal and block online threats now. NordVPN is rated as outstanding on PC Mag. Just visit NordVPN.com and discover the benefits of this all-around cybersecurity tool. It will encrypt your online traffic. NordVPN's Threat Protection Pro tool will defend you against web trackers, malicious websites, and malware-ridden downloads. So improve your digital privacy and protection with one simple click. Get the special Black Friday deal at NordVPN.com and enjoy safer internet daily. NordVPN. Cybersecurity built for every day.
Philo's got a world of entertainment for you to explore with just one subscription. Sign up today and start watching all the networks you love, like A&E, MTV, Discovery, Lifetime, Hallmark Channel, and so much more. Featuring current seasons of all the best drama, true crime, reality, and family-friendly shows you can't afford to miss. Get started today and unlock our library of over 75,000 movies and shows. And save all your favorites with the unlimited DVR so you can rewatch them anytime, anywhere, for up to a year. Philo now includes access to AMC Plus. You can discover your next obsession from its collection of hit originals like Mad Men, The Walking Dead, Killing Eve, Orphan Black, and tons of blockbuster movies. There are no contracts, no commitments, and no hassles. For just $28 a month, Philo's a better way to watch TV. So what are you waiting for? Visit Philo.tv and sign up today to start your 7-day free trial. That's PHILO.TV.
Families affected by Hurricanes Milton and Helene urgently need support. Help the American Red Cross provide meals and shelter to these families. Donate today to hurricane relief by going to redcross.org or calling 1-800-RED-CROSS.
See website for details. Bills Happen is not a lender and does not make credit decisions. Must be 18 years old. Not available in all states.
Honey, the credit card bill came and we're maxed out.
Great! Maxed out cards, rent is due, bills are piling up. We just need some extra cash to help us get by for a few weeks.
We should do what my brother did. He went to BillsHappen.com and got $3,000 the next day.
With our bad credit, I don't think so.
BillsHappen.com is different. They are one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with all credit types get up to $5,000.
I'm sure there's a lot of paperwork.
Nope, my brother said it was easy. He did it right from his phone.
If you have a regular source of income, you can be approved for a loan for up to $5,000 in minutes, and your cash can hit your bank account the next day. Bills Happen's lenders have millions of dollars to lend, regardless of your credit history.
Great news! I went to BillsHappen.com, and we will have our money as soon as tomorrow.
Wow, that is fast.
If you need extra cash, go to BillsHappen.com. That's BillsHappen.com. BillsHappen.com.
This is Jim Rome with your Rome Report. It is really amazing the kind of impact Jim Harbaugh has had on the LA Chargers. Not amazing in the sense that he's winning. He always wins. He's won everywhere he's coached. But what's amazing is how quickly he has flipped the culture of that football team and how he's done so by being as kooky and as weird as ever before. Listen, I understand that vibe and that shtick may work on college guys, but not on grown bleeping men pulling huge paychecks. Typically, pro football players aren't into that kind of corn. They're not into that kind of kook. He led the team in high fives and, wait for it, singing a round of "For He's a Jolly Good Fellow." But to see the video, they love it. They're not doing it to placate this guy. They love it. They love him. They love each other. And the entire culture has flipped. Football season is heating up, and PrizePicks is the best place to get real money sports action while watching football. The app is so simple to use. Just pick more or less on at least two players for a shot to win up to 100 times your money. Download the PrizePicks app today and use the code ROME, R-O-M-E, and get a $50 credit instantly when you play $5. That's code ROME on PrizePicks to get a $50 credit instantly when you play $5. PrizePicks, run your game. Must be present in certain states where it's lawful to wager. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
O'Reilly. Protect your vehicle's engine with Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Purchase 5 quarts of any Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil and get a $10 gift card after rebate. Find the synthetic oil that's right for your vehicle and budget. Shop your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store or O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290, 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. Let's talk some Arizona football and Arizona basketball with the voice of the Wildcats, Brian Jeffries, who was with the basketball team last week in Wisconsin. First of all, though, Brian, I have to get your what were the reports that you got on the young man that filled in for you, Brody Dryden, on the football game? How do you think he did?
Well, I've been told that I better get out of the way because he's taking over here pretty soon. That's the most common comment. But, he's a lot younger than me, and, he probably comes from good genes. So I understand that, he's got that going for him. But, no, I was very proud of Brody. I thought he did a great joat. I listened to the game, and I knew he would do well. He takes the craft very seriously and has for a long time, and so it was great, and he'll be in the Bahamas next week to call basketball. So, get another taste of him next week.
Yeah, was that a rock, paper, scissors kind of thing there that he got the Bahamas trip?
Yes and no. I guess I could say that. On the other hand, it's Territorial Cup week. We don't know the kickoff time to ASU.
Yeah.
Trying to get back from the Bahamas, that's and the team's not flying back until Saturday, day of the game, and there was just a lot of things that went into it. It's safer that he go because he won't spend as much money, and and he'll have more fun.
Chatting with Brian Jeffries, the voice of the Wildcats. Speaking of travel, obviously quick turnaround this week. Are you flying on Desiree's plane out Saturday morning?
That's my backup plan, but they're not leaving real early, and so I'm going to take off earlier than that to get down to Dallas earlier and get to the game site in plenty of time. If something falls through, I know when they're leaving, so that's kind of the comforting factor there.
So they're saving a seat on the Learjet for you just in case.
I don't know that they're saving me a seat, but I'll throw somebody off if I need to.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Let's talk about basketball. Obviously, you were with the team in Wisconsin, a foul-marred game last week. What were your takeaways from the performance and the Wildcats' loss?
Yeah, it was a foul-marred game. There's no doubt about it, and neither team got an advantage there. Yes, I know that Wisconsin outscored Arizona at the free throw line, but the fouls were just about even. I just think there were too many. That's the bottom line. And 63 fouls in a college basketball game is way too much for me. Usually, once you get past 40, I start scratching my head and wondering, what are the officials looking at here? And I just thought that was. It was unfortunate, I think, for both teams. Now, Wisconsin, great job. They deserve to win the game, and they won't look at it that way. They'll just say, hey, we won the game. We were the better team, and we'll give them that due, and we'll see how the rest of their season goes. And it's one of those things Arizona just has to fight through. I think, we talk about this every single year, David. When Arizona walks into a building, they are the target. It's the biggest game of the year. You could tell that just the way the Wisconsin fans got there early, greeted the team, the student section. You saw the way the players. I'd only seen them on film, but just to see the way they came out and played as hard as they did. John Tonje was the star of the show with a career high 41 points, and he hadn't played in almost a year. I think it may have been over a year since he'd actually played. So nobody really knew, but you could just tell that they were juiced up and ready to go. But again, that's to their credit, and the Wildcats have to understand, when they go on the road in these situations, they're going to get the best shot, and you got to learn that. Sometimes you have to go through it a couple of times before you realize the mental state you've got to be in when that game tips off. So I thought the Wildcats were ready to go. They had a great game plan, and they just didn't play as well as they had earlier. And like I said, Wisconsin gets credit. They got the win, and we'll see where it goes from here.
Well, and interesting you kind of brought that perspective of it, because that's the exact flip of what we're going to have here on Friday night when Duke comes into our building, and they get the same kind of treatment wherever they go. And, they haven't really done this a lot, play true road games in their past under the, obviously the legendary Mike Krzyzewski really didn't like to do this. What do you recall? What's your recall from the last time, 1991? When these fellas came to town?
I can't remember 2001, let alone 1991. But I know there was a time there, the teams played. They were here in Tucson. They had a home and home, played here in Tucson, also played at Madison Square Garden, played in Newark one year, of course, the Final 401. They've been good games. There's no doubt about that. You mentioned how, Duke doesn't go to a lot of away games unless it's in ACC play. And so, yeah, that's a good point. They played 3 games at home and 1 neutral court game. First time they will set foot on a visitor's court tomorrow night, and they've got some freshmen that haven't dealt with that before. So how do they take that? How do they approach a McHale crowd tomorrow night? I think that's going to be, like Arizona found out last week, Duke's going to find out tomorrow. The young guys in particular, they just haven't gone through this before.
Chatting with Brian Jeffries, the voice of the Wildcats. It's Arizona basketball against Duke on Friday night. Are you joining the kids to spend the night at McHale tonight?
I did not bring a sleeping bag. No. So no, I've slept on the floor of my office before, but out of necessity. Tomorrow night is not one of those, or tonight is not one of those. So I will be getting a good night's sleep tonight. I'd love to be a fly on the wall and see how this goes, and see at what time everybody actually does go to sleep, if they do.
Have they ever done that before? I've never. I know I've been here 17 years. I don't recall it happening.
I don't think they've ever been in the building for the night. I know that they've lined up. I've seen students that will line up the day before and the night before, and they'll be out on the sidewalk. But I don't recall them ever. If that's numbers, let's look at it this way. There's going to be a lot of kids in the building, and that's good. I think it's great. It's going to be fun. That's part of what being a student is.
And then obviously Saturday in TCU, the chance to continue on this trek to potential bowl eligibility. The Wildcats getting the win over Houston. Just what was kind of your what's been happening kind of this week? The feeling of this team getting back on track with a victory around the facility.
Well, David, I've said it a lot this season. This team has never practiced like it had a losing record, and that's one thing that's amazed me. And so I asked Coach Brennan this afternoon. I said, what the difference between a week ago and this week, and really none. They've come out and they practice the same way that they have all year long. I don't think there's any doubt that you win a game, and after you've been on a losing streak and you win a game, there's some pep in the step now, and I think these guys realize that they're down to 2 games, must wins if they want to get to a bowl. Although I haven't heard a single player mention the word bowl lately. I think they're truly taking it one game at a time, and they learned a lot last week. I think they threw a few new wrinkles in, face a totally opposite style team now this week, and see how it goes. But I think they'll go in with a great frame of mind. If they can execute like they did last week against Houston, they got a great chance to get a win.
Have you watched a lot of watched tape of TCU? What are you seeing from this offense and with Sonny Dykes and just kind of the way they like to throw the ball? They've got one of the best receivers, obviously, in the pack. Big 12 in Jack Beck.
Yeah, I tell you what. First of all, they've got an outstanding quarterback in Josh Hoover, and he's a sophomore. He started late last season. He started this year, and great completion percentage, great touchdown to interception ratio, gets rid of the ball in a hurry. And so I think it really starts with him. And then, you've got a collection of receivers. You've got some really good ones, but I look up and down the list. I see 54 catches, 44, 56. You just go up and down the line, 25. And then they've got a really good tight end in Drake Dabney. And so he has plenty of targets to go at, and it's typical Sonny Dykes football, and it's got a lot of elements of the run and shoot, and so or the air raid. You can put all those things into a basket and pull it out and say there's similarities to a lot of different offenses. So Arizona's got to play obviously really good defense. Can they get pressure on Hoover? He hasn't been sacked very much this year. So you just can't allow them to get into the explosive plays. They put out an entire sheet of explosive plays that they've had this season. It's very impressive. So I'd say if you can shut that down, and keep them in front of you defensively. Obviously, you got to keep them out of the end zone, but not allow those big explosive plays. So it just gives you another chance to maybe win the game.
All right, so just to kind of bring it back to where we started, and the performance by your son Brody last week. So did you have like a list of notes that you gave to him at all, or did you maybe give him one piece of constructive criticism about his broadcast that you might share with us?
Well, I didn't critique anything after it was over because I just think he did a really good job. And at one point here, maybe when the season's over, we can sit down and listen to it. And but I was just really proud of the job he did. I knew he would be well prepared, and he sat next to me for many years as my spotter, and so he knows how it works. I sent him some notes. I sent him copies of my depth chart, and I don't know if he used them or not. I just said, hey, here's what I use, and if you want to steal some things, go ahead. But I want him to be himself too, and do it the way that he feels best. And he called games for the student radio station, so he's been through it before. And I just wasn't, I'm not bragging here, but I just wasn't surprised that he approached it like somebody that had been doing it for a while. And if this is his future, and I know he'd like to get into business, and David, you know how tough it is to break into this business. I think he could do a really good job wherever he might end up.
Outstanding. All right, Brian, here's to great calls and smooth travel this weekend.
I like that. Let's go.
All right, Brian Jeffries, appreciate you as always. The voice of the Arizona Wildcats. Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and weather.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, this is your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Collisions that are reported Escalante near Kolb on Escalante west of Kolb Road with westbound slowing. La Cañada and Lambert Lane and La Cañada. Also, traffic on I-10 approaching the Ajo-Kino connection for some slowing. Also, some more heavier slowing on westbound I-10 as you pass Valencia. Overnight low near 51, 84, sunny skies tomorrow, and 81 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. It's Black Friday build-up at Lowe's. Get up to 50% off select major appliances. Plus, take an additional 10% off when you buy other select major appliances. Valid 11/6 through 12/4. Cannot be combined with additional discounts. See Lowe's.com for details while supplies last.
This Saturday, catch Adia Barnes and the Cats as they take on Grambling State at the McHale Center. Tip-off at 6 p.m. with coverage starting at 5:45 with Derek Palmer. Don't miss it. Only on Freedom 1400 KTUC. Bear down, Arizona.
Back to Eugene Snarkle, rising Uber tube star, and his best friend, Doug.
Eugene, you've been working on my car's brakes for 3 days now. Is there a problem? And what's with all the orange stuff on your t-shirt?
Research, Doug.
The orange stuff is research?
No, I'm doing research for my next UberTube video on fixing brakes. I need the Chizo snack food to power my 72-hour video binges. It gets a little messy, but I'm willing to make the sacrifice.
It looks like the only sacrifice is my car, and maybe that white t-shirt covered in Chizo dust.
So, can you hand me that metal thingy?
You mean this wrench?
Well, if that's what you want to call it.
Eugene, I need my keys. I'm heading to Jack Furrier's.
Great choice, Doug. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care is the right choice for quality brake service and complete automotive care. You can stop in, call ahead, or make an appointment online at jackfurriers.com. Our 14 area locations are ready to help with fast, friendly service and great prices. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Since 1960, we're here to get you there.
Wish Black Friday deals lasted longer? Good news! At Oro Ford, Black Friday deals last all month long. Get $10,000 off MSRP on new 2024 Ford Expeditions, Ford Edges, and Ford F-150s. And Oro Ford's the only Ford dealer with zero city sales tax and no dealer add-ons. Stuff your plate with savings all November long at Oro Ford's Black Friday sale. Take the easy drive from anywhere in Tucson. Restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
Winter is coming. Holiday Snowfest at Salt River Fields, presented by Valley Toyota Dealers. Real snow and a giant inner tube toboggan run. Holiday fun, lights, music, food, drinks, a kids' play area, and photo ops. It's all happening at Salt River Fields. Holiday Snowfest at Salt River Fields, presented by Valley Toyota Dealers.
And this Friday, we have a sweet deal for you for the Holiday Snowfest. You can get a VIP admission ticket for just $30. originally $60. Your VIP Holiday Snowfest admission ticket includes a s'mores kit voucher, hot cocoa voucher, a Santa meet and greet voucher, a snowball toss voucher, and a souvenir drink voucher. And this Holiday Snowfest sweet deal will go on sale this Friday morning at 8:30 at WildcatsRadio1290.com.
When you donate a toy,
we will donate a toy. It's our annual gift back to our community.
We're collecting new unwrapped toys for Toys for Tots.
And for every toy you donate, we'll donate another. For every dollar you donate, we'll match it.
At Alaskan AC, we believe every kid should have a gift under the tree on Christmas morning.
That's why we've partnered with the Marine Corps Toys for Tots once again. Since 1947, they've collected over 670 million toys, putting smiles on the faces of over 300 million kids.
And your donations stay right here in town. You can stop by our offices or hand your donation to one of our polar bears when they are at your home.
Alaskan AC loves having fun, but we're serious about helping kids. So serious, we're matching your donation.
We'll donate a toy for every one you donate
and match cash donations dollar for dollar. Let's make sure every child has a Merry Christmas.
For our location or to schedule service, find us at alaskanac.com.
When you have sports mixed with your pop culture, along with humor and celebrity interviews, your earbuds are enjoying The Rich Eisen Show. The NFL's Dan Campbell, head coach of the Detroit Lions.
You got a good Parcells story, Dan Campbell?
Man, I got a million Parcells stories. I'm going to be a star. I'm going to go to Dallas and start. Bill tells me straight up, I'm just telling you right now, he goes, we really like you. Man, you fit here, but you're a backup. I was so heated. You know what? Yeah, I will come here and sign as a backup just to prove you wrong. It's like a mind trick.
Search for The Rich Eisen Show on YouTube or wherever you listen.
This is Jim Rome with a Sports Minute. I think that I might be addicted to the New York football content machines known as the Jets and the Giants because I simply cannot stop talking about either team. Both of these teams are disaster car wrecks on the other side of the highway, and there's metal and parts everywhere, and there are ambulance lights and police sirens, and the jaws of life are out, and I simply cannot help it, man. I have to look. I'm Jim Rome.
Hey, sports fans, if you're not calling John Anthony, you're simply missing out. To prove it, I'm releasing your Thursday Night Report absolutely free unrecorded message line, 1-800-244-5506. Pittsburgh-Cleveland tonight is going to be a monster game. I've got the side and total. Pittsburgh-Cleveland plus hoops and college football. That's 5 big plays. John Anthony has you covered. I love to sweep the board. Call now. Hear him for free on a recorded message, 1-800-244-5506. Information wins. John Anthony Sports, #1 against the spread. 1-800-244-5506. You want the information? I've got it. Pittsburgh, Cleveland, plus college football, hoops, and special prop action. I love to go 5-0 the season free. 1-800-244-5506. That's 1-800-244-5506, or go to johnanthonysports.com.
Sponsored by JFSR Group. DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. You can, in fact, text the word app to 520-848-1290. I will send you a link. You can download our app. Our app slaps. There's a lot of great things happening on our app. You can watch our show. You can interact with our show via the app. You can read all of our great articles. We've got an article up right now on the Arizona women's basketball's loss we were talking about in the first segment to the Northern Arizona Lumberjacks. You can read about that. Arizona State men's basketball got a win last night over Cal Poly. If you want to read about that, you can do so as well. Jalen Brunson and the Knicks came to town and beat the Suns. We'll get into that as we go along on this show as well today. So lots of great things on our app. Again, 520-848-1290. Text the word app to that number, and I'll send you a link so you can download the Wildcats Radio 1290 app. All right. It is the time of the week that you have all been waiting for. It is time for the Miller Lite Pig Skin Challenge. That's right. I picked the game. Can you pick the winner? Right now, I am taking the first caller to 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. $25 is the gift card from Miller Lite after we had, I believe it was Ted. Ted from last week won the $100 gift card, successfully picking the Buffalo Bills to
Ted Davis.
end the Kansas City Chiefs' reign over the National Football League. And so he took home $100. So we're back to $25. If you win, you get that $25 gift card. If you lose, then that rolls over to next week and becomes a $50 gift card for a lucky person out there who partakes in this competition.
Is it any kind of mystery what game you're going to pick?
Yeah, I mean, there's always mystery. There's a lot.
There's only one game this week, right?
There's a lot of blowouts on this list. I mean, you got the Commanders are a double-digit favorite over the Cowboys. You got the Chiefs are a double-digit favorite over the Panthers. You've got Houston, a full touchdown favorite over the former Houston Oilers this weekend. So, yeah, there's not a lot of close games on the docket. So I think we're going to go with the closest, and that might be familiar to a lot of people. Let's chat with MJ. You're on DK on the Sports Tip, Wildcats Radio 1290. MJ, are you up for the Miller Lite Pigskin Challenge?
Yes, sir.
All right, MJ, what's your favorite team?
I got to go with the Cardinals.
You got to go with the Cardinals. Why do you love the Cardinals?
Well, I like Murray. He's seems like he's getting his stuff together right now.
He is he's getting his stuff together for sure. That is for sure.
Being a leader, I like it.
Being a leader, growing up. That's what we like to see. All right. Well, how about this, MJ? The game we're going to pick this week is, in fact, the Arizona Cardinals at the Seattle Seahawks. So if you pick against your team, you're going to look real bad to the public out there.
Well, I got to go. I got to go with the Cardinals.
He's going to go with the Cardinals. MJ is a Cardinals fan, and he is going with the Cardinals to go on the road and win a fifth straight game and beat. It's hard to believe they were actually 1-4 at one point. They are 6-4 now on top of the NFC West, and they are on the road as a 1-point favorite. A 1-point favorite in Seattle. But it's never easy to win in Seattle.
It's hard to believe that they hadn't won 2 consecutive games in 3 years, and now they're on a 4-game winning streak.
Right, exactly. It's tough. Going into Seattle and Lumen Field with the 12th man is not an easy place to win, though, and it looks like it's going to be cold this weekend as well. Temperatures expected to be in the high 40s in Seattle, which is never good. It's never good when a West Coast team goes and plays in a cold climate. That never seems to work out well for us. But you think that the Cardinals can go and beat Seattle this weekend, MJ?
Oh, yeah. They got it.
They got
to. They got to. You know?
Well, let's hope James Conner continues his fine rushing of the football. He's got 697 yards and 5 touchdowns this season. MJ, stay on the line. J-Dub's going to get your information, and we will chat with you hopefully again on Monday to review what happened in the game between the Cardinals and the Seahawks.
That sounds good. Y'all have a wonderful day.
Thank you, MJ. MJ takes the Cardinals to beat the Seahawks on the road. That's our Miller Lite Pigskin Challenge. I pick the game. Can you pick the winner? Every single week, you have a chance to win a gift card from Miller Lite. If you win, sometimes it's $25. Sometimes last week, it was $100. And even if you lose, you're still getting something from us. You're getting a fabulous Miller Lite prize pack. And I went and checked out those prize packs the other day. There's a lot of good stuff in there. A lot of good stuff to help you with your tailgate party for whether it's NFL football on Sundays or college football on Saturdays. All right, we've got NFL football tonight here on Wildcats Radio 1290. It's NFL Thursday Night Football. David Amata, Dragon Balls, Pittsburgh Steelers at my Cleveland Browns. These two teams at opposite ends of the AFC North Division. The Steelers at 8-2, the Browns at 2-8. But it is a rivalry to say the least. And speaking of cold, 38 degrees, the temperature for this game in Cleveland, Ohio. The Steelers enter the contest as a 3.5-point favorite. The over-under right now on the Desert Diamond Casino board is 37 on this game. And so I've got a couple of BetQL top plays to give you on this game tonight. First of all, the play, a 4-star play, courtesy of BetQL, is to take the over in this game. The over. And so you'll take that over. Let me just double check again and see what we've got the latest. It's down to 36.5. So right around 37, 36. 36.5. Take the over tonight between the Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. I've also got a prop play for you on this game, and that involves Steelers running back Najee Harris. Steelers running back Najee Harris to go over 69.5 yards. I hate all these half numbers that they put on these bets. Doesn't make any sense to me, but whatever. 69.5, the over at minus 150. That means that if you bet your $12.90, again, remember, we're not throwing crazy money out there. The bet is $12.90.
Not $12,900.
Not 12. Now, if you want to go out and bet $12,900 on this game, have at it. But we're betting $12.90, and at minus 137, that's going to get you $8.64 back on your $12.90 bet. Najee Harris to go over 695 yards today in the game between the Browns and the Steelers. Let's just look real quick. Let me pull up Najee's game log here and tell you what he's done. He has not gone over. Well, yeah, he's had now maybe this is why they do this. His last game, 70 yards. The game before that, 69 yards. The game before that, 70 yards. So Najee Harris has been right on that number, 69.5, the last 3 weeks. And the Steelers have won 3 games in a row after they stumbled a bit and lost a couple of games to Dallas and Indianapolis.
I got a fun stat for you.
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson in 19 games as a starter has never thrown for over 300 yards.
Exactly, yeah.
And Jameis Winston has thrown for over 300 yards twice in the last 3 games.
Yep, that is absolutely correct. Pretty fascinating, those numbers right there. Najee Harris actually does have a couple 100-plus yard rushing games, but not since early in the season. So you wonder maybe if he's wearing down a little bit. So those are your 2 5-star plays for tonight. Browns Steelers over 37 or 36.5 currently at the Desert Diamond Casino line. Najee Harris over 69.5 yards at minus 137. Take those 2 bets. I also have a 5-star play for you on the NBA side tonight. J-Dub, the Spurs are hosting the Utah Jazz. We've talked about the Jazz not being very good so far this year. But the BetQL model says take the Jazz plus the 3 on the road at San Antonio. Now, I don't know if Victor Wembanyama is back. I think that makes sense if Victor's not playing. I don't know if that makes a whole lot of sense if Victor's going to play tonight.
No, I'm pretty sure he's out.
Okay. Just looking at some recent stuff, he was not on the floor for shoot-around today. So it does not appear like
out.
he's going to.
He is officially out.
Okay. So there you go. You got the latest information here. He is officially out for tonight's game against the Jazz. So there you go. Take the Jazz plus the 3.5. Would you take the Jazz plus the 3.5 even without Victor Wembanyama?
Yeah, Walker Kessler is going to go to work tonight.
All right.
Without
there you
Wemby
go.
in there. Come on.
Walker Kessler.
Oh,
there
yeah.
you go. So that is a 5-star play. We didn't do too well last night. We took a couple L's. We took an L in that NHL game. Dallas and San Jose. The play was under 6.5, and of course, they scored 7 goals. Dallas won that one 5-2. We also took an L in the Alabama-Illinois game. The play there was to take Illinois +8 on the road, and Alabama won that game by 13, scoring 100 points, winning 100-87 over the Fighting Illini. That was the only game on the docket last night that involved ranked teams.
I got bad news.
What's that?
Walker Kessler is out for tonight's game.
Oh, gosh. So no Chet Wemby.
Yep.
Now no Walker Wemby.
Yeah. Also, Jordan Clarkson's day-to-day, so...
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Is Lowry playing?
He is. Yeah, he is playing. He played. He's been playing in the recent games, yeah. He sat out for a few, but he's back, yeah.
For the record, Colin Boswell last night, best game of the season for him. Played 32 minutes, 7 of 15, 17 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists.
Nice.
1 turnover, 1 steal. So didn't get the Illini a win, but good game for Colin Boswell.
Good for him.
The former Arizona Wildcat guard. All right, DK on the sports tip. Much more straight ahead coming up in the 4 o'clock hour. We had a chance yesterday to talk to the ladies of the U of A triathlon team that won the national championship in just their second season. And you're going to hear that press conference. We'll let you hear what the ladies had to say, along with Coach Wes Johnson, who's fresh back from a cruise.
That was such an awesome story.
Yeah, he told his wife. I guess he's been out. He's been away from home a lot. He's got a lot of young kids. And he promised his wife as soon as this whole thing was over that they would go on a vacation. And so they went on a cruise. So literally, he won the national championship, and the next day he was on a boat.
Yeah, it's like, how's all this reception of all the people patting you on the back? Well, I haven't got much of that because I've been on a cruise for the last week. So
he was like, every time we would go into somewhere where there was cell reception, he said his phone started blowing up. So we'll hear from Coach Wes Johnson and the ladies on their winning of the national championship. And it sounded like from what he said yesterday that triathlon will be an NCAA championship sport starting next year. We'll work to confirm that for sure, but it sounded just like what he was saying. They've got the enough teams now for this emerging sport now to fall under the NCAA umbrella and it to become an NCAA championship sport, which would be great because now, as we were talking earlier in the week, because it's not an NCAA championship sport, you don't get that 100 Directors' Cup points for it right now. But starting next year, you could get those 100 Directors' Cup points for winning that. And like we've said, U of A needs all the Directors' Cup points they can get in the fall because right now they got 0 and they're trending towards 0. So let's hope that becomes a reality next year and the Wildcats are at the top of that food chain because that would really would go a long way to helping this program as a whole get itself back up into the top 30 in the country. All right, DK on the sports tip, much more straight ahead. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Slowdowns on southbound La Cholla at Ajo. Mission and Ajo busy westbound and southbound. Some light slowing on the eastbound side of I-10 approaching the Ajo-Kino connection. Westbound I-10 backups between as you approach Wilmot Road to just as you pass Valencia. Collisions reported might have some restrictions and backups. La Cañada and Lambert Lane, also Escalante west of Cold Road. 51 are overnight low, 84 sunny tomorrow, and 81 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather
This
together.
report is sponsored by eBay. We all got a thing. Yes, even you. If you love fashion, car parts, trading cards, whatever you're into, it's on eBay. So go find the thing that keeps you up at night. eBay. Things people love.
So you have approval to order more.
Oh, it's just me, guys. Why are you dressed like that? It's my polar bear costume.
I almost called the exterminator.
Just trying to drum up business for winter Alaska vacations. Since when are polar bears so short?
Gary, Alaskan AC doesn't have to do silly stunts. People all over town love our Alaska vacations.
Who else promises no breakdowns for a full year? Check this out.
Don't do that here.
Well, when I spin the sign outside, it looks awesome.
I thought Wrecking Ron's office was pretty awesome.
Gary, I love your enthusiasm, but I don't think we need you dressed up in a polar bear costume to tell people about our winter Alaskifications.
Everyone knows Alaskan AC does more than just tune up the heater.
We clean, tighten, calibrate, and polish the heater so it's good as new.
So good, we guarantee no breakdowns for an entire year.
Now take off that silly costume.
Okay.
And give it to William.
What?
You're more polar bear sized.
You've got to be kidding me. I'm not putting this.
Oh, and schedule now at AlaskanAC.com.
Back to Eugene Snarkle, rising UberTube star, and his best friend, Doug.
Eugene, you've been working on my car's brakes for 3 days now. Is there a problem? And what's with all the orange stuff on your t-shirt?
Research, Doug.
The orange stuff is research?
No, I'm doing research for my next UberTube video on fixing brakes. I need the Chizo snack food to power my 72-hour video binges. It gets a little messy, but I'm willing to make the sacrifice.
It looks like the only sacrifice is my car, and maybe that white t-shirt covered in Chizo dust.
So, can you hand me that metal thingy?
You mean this wrench?
Well, if that's what you want to call it.
Eugene, I need my keys. I'm heading to Jack Furrier's.
Great choice, Doug. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care is the right choice for quality brake service and complete automotive care. You can stop in, call ahead, or make an appointment online at jackfurriers.com. Our 14 area locations are ready to help with fast, friendly service and great prices. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Since 1960, we're here to get you there.
Get your backyard summer ready with a custom pool from First Choice Pools. A backyard oasis built around you. First Choice is a full-service builder of beautiful in-ground pools and backyard designs for years of staycations. If you want to dive in this summer, now is the time to visit TucsonPoolBuilder.com. First Choice Pools for installs, renovation, remodeling, and repair. Get started today at TucsonPoolBuilders.com. Ask about our 60-day pool. To be summer ready, First Choice is the only choice.
Day in and day out, we're inundated with commercials asking to review your portfolio or telling you to get a second opinion. This is Natalie Fernandez with Meridian Wealth Management, and I want to share the advice I give people every day. Talk to 3 different advisors at 3 different firms. It's important to understand their differences and find someone you can trust. I want Meridian to be one of your 3, and then you will decide who is best for you. To learn more, call us at 719-1433 today.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
So right now may be the perfect time for you to rethink how you pay for health care. And here's why. This time of year is decision time for a lot of people, but it's also when you can join Medi-Share and save even more than usual. For many families, joining Medi-Share means saving about $500 a month, which is a game changer for a lot of people, obviously. But what's more, Medi-Share members like it a lot. Their satisfaction rate is 98%. And Medi-Share is a proven thing, too, for over 30 years. It's a Christian community of hundreds of thousands of people now. And here's the thing. If you join before November 30th and you mention the promo code SHARE, they'll waive your application fee, so you save even more right off the bat. I'll give you the number here in a second, but just call and you'll get a price within 2 minutes. And again, the deadline is November 30th, so call now and you'll save even more. Here's the number: 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE.
KZUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. The one and only home of the Jim Rome Show. Rich Eisen and DK on the Sports Tip.
You know, this is vastly different. There's a lot of clapping, a lot of hugging, a lot of handshaking.
We are Wildcats Radio 1290. Live from the CNWT.
Wait, what's the CNWT?
Central Northwest Tucson. Duh.
It's DK on the Sports Tip with your host, David Kelly.
Radio. Just when I thought I was out, they drug me back in.
Featuring J.W. Madden.
Don't tell me about flip-flops, man. I'm a native.
David Amata.
Hey, that's Dragon Ball to you.
And Cricket getting you home with traffic and weather.
Camp on Mount Lemon, not in the left lane on the freeway.
Here we go! And now, a man who has not one, but 3 first names, David Scott Kelly.
And we have breaking news. Breaking news to start the 4 o'clock hour. Happening now in Huntsville, Alabama. The NJCAA Division II men's National Soccer Tournament, the national semifinals happening right now. Your Pima Aztecs taking on Northeast out of Nebraska. The game is at the half, and the Pima Aztecs are leading by a score of 2-0. 2-0 at the half. Jacob Lund-Iverson, who we had on the show earlier this week, who literally saved the season, scoring a goal with 3 seconds to go. He has been unstoppable. He's going to be the MVP if they win this thing because he had a goal. He had the goal that saved the season in the opener. He scored again in the second game of pool play, and he has scored again today. So he's got a goal in each of the 3 games that the Aztecs have played down in Huntsville, Alabama. And also Ishmael Ruiz has scored in that game off a beautiful rebound with the left foot. Some of the highlights up on Twitter at Pima Athletics on the Twitter side. 2-0 right now. Aztecs lead Northeast. They win, and they are in the Division II National Championship game. And I believe that will be tomorrow, but we'll get that all squared up for you for sure. But that's awesome. Awesome. Pima right now in control, playing well, and as the number 1 seed. And you heard Dave Costco. We had Dave on, I think it was last week, talk about how it's been forever since the actual number 1 seed won this tournament. Well, Pima is 1 half away from at least getting to the national championship match to have an opportunity to be that first team in forever, that first number 1 seed to win this tournament. 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. It was not a good night for the Phoenix Suns last night at home against the kids from the Big Apple, the New York Knicks. They lose again. Do the Suns. How many is that in a row now, J-Dub? 5 losses in a row?
I believe it's 5, yeah.
5 losses in a row without KD, who's got injury issues.
The good news is they have 5 straight days to think about it.
So is that. They got 5 off days?
Yeah,
Nice.
5 off days in a row.
All right. They were 8-1 at one point. They are now 9-7 are the Suns. Devin Booker, 33 points last night, but they lose big, 138-122. Is it me, or is scoring way up in the NBA this year?
Oh, yeah. I know. It's been up a couple of 3 years now. I think it was Sacramento in 2022 that kind of jump-started this craze, but it's there are teams above 120. The crazy stat to me, DK, is in 1999, there was one team that averaged over 100 points. Take a guess? Cleveland Cavs.
1999.
1999, one team averaged more than 100 points. Now, every team's over 110, 105, 110. So every single team is up at least 15 points over 20 years ago. So, yeah, once the game's really spread out, fouls are maybe a little bit looser. That's what they want. They want action, right? We all remember the Fratello era, and nobody wants to see that anymore. So they want scoring. We're seeing scoring.
And scoring is up in college basketball, too. I mean, Greg Gard talked about that during his press conference last week about how he dispatched his people to review all of the season openers.
Yeah.
Last week or a couple weeks ago when all the teams started playing. And he said, the scoring was, most of the teams that won were scoring above 80 points. So there's not a lot of these, 57 to 48 type games anymore. You got to score to win in college basketball nowadays.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of teams are a very concerted effort to get into their actions earlier in the shot clock. I mean, back in the day, you used to have a little bit more weave at the top and maybe drawing the game out a little bit. But guess who just retired 6 weeks ago, right? Tony Bennett, the guy most famous for slowing the ball down and winning games 51-49. That style with the amount of athletes and the skill level of players coming into college who can all knock shots down. I think coaches are just going in that direction, trying to outscore teams. Again, defense will always be a huge part of winning college basketball games, but getting into your offense early, maybe putting some teams in foul pressure, whatever, like we saw up there in Madison, it's a very it's a strategy that leads to wins, DK.
All right, let's hear from Mike Budenholzer after the Suns lost again by 16 at home and did not play very good transition defense.
Yeah, Brunson's first two kind of stand out to me. I think live ball catch kind of rockered and made a three. Maybe we play them tighter. We're into them with a live ball. But, again, I would say solid defense, but better offense. And then it feel like a couple of the other ones, they maybe got us into a little bit of scramble mode. And I think Anunoby hit one and maybe Bridges. But, they came out and made shots and kind of put us in a hole in the first quarter, down 16, that, ultimately we could never really recover from that start. We made a run, but, they made shots out of the gate, credit to them. But I thought our transition defense at times was not where you need it to be good defensively. If you're going to withstand a good shooting night, you got to take away the easy ones in transition. You got to be great there. I think we had, some lapses in transition where we got to be better. They're cutting off the ball, a little bit offensive rebounding. We got to be better defensively.
Coach, when you look at the schedule you guys have had, the injuries, this upcoming 5-day stretch, how beneficial will that be to kind of get a moment to catch your breath and get back in the gym and get some practice time?
Yeah, I think when the schedule comes out, it doesn't, look like it's something that you'd ever ask for, but maybe there's some kind of silver lining in a 5-day break. We can get in the gym, we can look at things, we can figure out, how to be better, So, when you get a break like this, you got to take advantage of it in a lot of different ways.
Yeah, DK, if you look at the stats from last night, the Suns shot 49% from the field. They had 30 assists. 30 assists in an NBA game generally leads to wins. It was not their offense and hasn't generally been their offense. More the rebounding issues. Got out rebounded by about 7, but they gave up 58% field goal shooting to that Knicks team. It was really the transition D that let them down.
And you mentioned 8 straight shots made to start the game. Devin Booker on that and the turnovers by the Suns that led to that.
I think a lot of it was in transition off turnovers, so not sprinting back, but just live ball turnovers kind of put you in a tough position. So made a couple tough ones too. They just started off hot.
Curious, the other thing I had was when you're defending Brunson, he had such a herky-jerky stop and do that. Is that how much film can you watch to even prepare for how he plays? Because it seems to be part instinct and part of what he is.
Yeah, no, he's a tough coverage. You don't know until you're out there.
Yeah, and 33 for Devin Booker, and he is looking forward to this 5-day break.
Yeah, I think it's an important time just to, get the guys healthy and just regroup, come in with the same energy that we had to start the season and, get back rolling.
Book, do you feel like physically you're in a good spot right now, or is this break going to be useful for you?
No, I feel great.
Illness, like you're caught up on that front?
Yeah, I'm great, 100%.
Always great. Always 100%. Even when we're not. Jalen Brunson, 36 points, 10 assists, 7 3-pointers made for Jalen Brunson in that game. Karl Anthony Towns, 34 points on 12 of 19. He had 10 rebounds as that's 4 straight wins for the Knicks. They seem to have found themselves after took them a little while to get used to all the new pieces. And
yeah, Cat's last 4 games, he's got 46, 26, 24, and 34. And all those games, DK, he shot above 60% from the field. So, yeah, Cat's balling right now. It's like, it's an adjustment period when you're a star like that. You're what? You've been an all-star every single year you've been in the NBA. You go to a completely new system. Brunson's a completely different style player than he's ever played with before, but, they're settling in, and that's a tough – that we knew when that trade happened, it will be tough to match up with that squad. So, yeah, I mean, Brunson. If anybody watched the playoffs last year, DK, I mean, that dude, Booker, is right. That dude is a tough. You don't know till you're out there. He's a tough cover.
Some familiar faces obviously back. Mikal Bridges scored 16 points in the game, played 40 minutes on 7 of 14. And Cameron Payne, 12 points off the bench in 26 minutes. So good to see those guys back and performing well with their new teams, even though they beat the Suns last night. All right, we are joined by the third member of our crew today. David Amata has the day off, so Cricket joins us. Cricket, you are still just a static picture there.
Okay, fair enough.
Now, there's no me today either, so don't feel bad because there's that. I'm a static picture as well today too. So, when I talk, I'll put my picture up, and then when you talk, I'll put your picture up, and that'll so people
Could we do
will
that
know
South
what's
Park
going
thing
on.
where you just like cut out the mouse and you just move
Cut
the
out
mouse,
the mouse?
down and up and down?
Were you a South Park person? Did you get into any of that like South Park? And what was the other one? The Simpsons.
I did like The Simpsons. I also
Yeah.
really liked Beavis and Butthead.
Really?
Yeah.
You seem like you would have liked Beavis and Butthead. that type of humor.
Uh-huh.
I was never really into those dudes.
Okay.
That was a little too much for me.
Oh, okay.
But
Fair enough.
Yeah. The Simpsons though, I didn't really watch. I'm not cartoon TV shows like that are kind of like based on real people. I never really got into those types of. I like cartoons where it's like not real folks, like animals or
I want to say like Bugs Bunny, like that whole kind of thing.
Kind of thing.
Yeah, that was fun too.
That's more my kind of animated type show. But animated like people and all that, I just never got into those things back in the day. You've got something for the people today, though.
I do.
What do you got for the people? It's not cricket with tickets. It's cricket with sweet deal.
Yeah.
We gotta get a sounder for that.
Cricket's got sweet deal.
There you go.
That was pretty
Cricket's
good.
got sweet deal.
Well, you
I like
guys
it.
could just do it. You don't even need to pay for that. You don't need to pay the big voice
We
guy
need to
for
pay-
that.
Yeah, exactly.
You
We'll
know?
take our money back for that one.
Exactly. We have 2 sweet deals tomorrow. The first from Guadalajara's, where you pay $25, but you'll get $50 to spend at Guadalajara's with traditional Mexican food. They do have brunch. Of course, lunch and dinner options, and they have a happy hour special featuring over 100 tequilas.
100.
What?
How
Right?
many of those 100 have you tried?
I'm going to probably guess maybe like 4.
4.
Probably.
But after the first like 4 or 5, aren't you on the
forget.
ground?
I
Like,
don't
how do you
even
get to even
remember.
past 6?
How do I even remember?
Right.
Yeah. So that sweet deal tomorrow, pay $25, get $50 to spend at Guadalajara's. Our second sweet deal tomorrow from the Holiday Snow Fest in Scottsdale, where you can get a VIP admission, which includes a s'mores kit, hot cocoa, Santa meet and greet, snowball toss, and a souvenir drink. At the Holiday Snow Fest in Scottsdale, pay $30, but it's originally $60. And both of those sweet deals tomorrow morning at 8:30 at WildcatsRadio1290.com.
All right. Is this Holiday Fest, is that something that they do every year up there in Scottsdale? Do you know? I don't know that I've heard. I don't remember that from last year.
I do not recall that. I don't know a lot about Scottsdale, but the Holiday Snow Fest, it's going to happen November 27th.
You don't know
through,
a lot about Scottsdale.
No, I don't.
You're not hanging out in all the cool spots
At the
in
swanky
Old
wa-
Town.
It says right here, the first ever Holiday Snowfest
the
comes
first
to
one.
did I
Salt River
completely-
Fields
There
in
you go.
2024.
All right.
Did I completely miss that?
I don't know.
I don't have
No,
those
no.
notes.
I'm reading something. I'm just looking on the
Okay.
So there you go. It's the first one.
The first ever.
First ever Snowfest
Scottsdale.
in Scottsdale.
350 tons of real snow.
All right.
That's what they say.
How are they going to keep that?
How long does
from
350 tons
melting?
of real snow last in Scottsdale?
That's what I'm wondering also.
Not very long when it's 80 degrees.
Exactly. It's warm today.
Hey, here's the thing. I mean, I'm sure it's going to be a great event. I'm just being a little cheeky, but the thing is that Salt melts snow in Salt River Field.
Yeah.
With the 350 tons of snow. Yeah.
They were putting up the ice rink downtown yesterday
Yeah.
when I went down to the arena for a second. Yeah, they got that. I do ice skate. Is that your?
No, I know you don't.
No, I
I
definitely
know we
don't.
talked about this last
I
year, and you said,
definitely
no
don't.
way.
No, thank you.
No way.
No, you're not getting me on any ice skates. No, thank you. But
That's smart.
You will be able to ice skate soon downtown as the rink is being built as we speak. We'll have to find out when that starts.
Sunday.
Oh, it starts Sunday.
Yeah.
See, she knows that already. She knows that.
She knows everything that happens on the weekends here.
Well, shoot, this is Thursday. We don't have a show tomorrow, so I may have to bring you back with a few things to do at 5 o'clock.
We can do
Since this is our last official show of the week.
The faux show.
All right. Right now, though, she's going to get you home every 20 minutes or to the bar to watch the Browns and the Steelers coming up as well. Cricket.
And from the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. New collision reported Silver Bell and Coach Line and Silver Bell. Also clearing Escalante near Kolb on Escalante west of Kolb Road. Some slowing on westbound I-10 approaching and passing Valencia. Southbound and westbound slowing at Ajo and Mission. And also southbound backups on La Cholla at Ajo Way. Overnight low near 51, 84, sunny tomorrow, and 80 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Need to hire? You need Indeed. Their all-in-one platform helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates, all from one place. And Indeed's interview tool lets you schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from their website. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
The Wildcats play here. This is your home of Arizona Wildcats football, men's basketball, and baseball. This is the home of the Wildcats. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
I'm here to announce the new collaboration, the Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl. Presented by Gin and Juice by Dre and Snoop.
You're invited to a historic day for Tucson on Saturday, December 28th.
I'll be there.
This is big time Tucson with the Tailgate Festival starting at 10 a.m.
Will you be there?
Then at 2:30, it's the only bowl game with all net proceeds to charities.
We'll see you there.
With tickets at thearizonabowl.com, it's doggone good for Tucson. Tickets at thearizonabowl.com.
Wish Black Friday deals lasted longer? Good news! At Oro Ford, Black Friday deals last all month long. Get $10,000 off MSRP on new 2024 Ford Expeditions, Ford Edges, and Ford F-150s. And Oro Ford's the only Ford dealer with zero city sales tax and no dealer add-ons. Stuff your plate with savings all November long at Oro Ford's Black Friday sale. Take the easy drive from anywhere in Tucson. Restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
Choosing the right lawyer after a car wreck is important. You need to consider the law firm's experience, results, and reputation. Lerner Rowe stands above other law firms when it comes to experience and results, helping over 150,000 people recover billions of dollars for their injuries. When it comes to reputation, we have thousands of 5-star reviews, and year after year, we have been voted best personal injury law firm in Arizona. Call us today and let us put our experience, proven results, and reputation to work for you.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
It's November and the weather is cooling down. Now is the time to have your furnace serviced to ensure that it's operating safe and efficient. We also have a $79 garbage disposal service. And check out our monthly plumbing specials on our website. Call Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing for all your plumbing and heating needs at 520-492-0748 or PictureRocksCooling.com.
Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-8695. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-8695. That's 800-575-8695. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
When you dine with us at Guadalajara's, you're getting so much more than just delicious Mexican food. You're diving into a full experience. Feel the vibrant energy of our authentic Mexican ambiance as soon as you walk through the door. Join us any day of the week for fresh, flavorful weekday lunch specials with crisp ingredients and bold flavors. And as always, fresh table-side salsa made to your liking. On the weekends, treat yourself to our decadent brunch at select locations. It's the perfect start to your weekend. And because there's always a reason to celebrate, don't miss out on our refreshing happy hour specials with over 50 fine tequilas to choose from. Whether you're dining in, grabbing takeout, or ordering delivery, Guadalajara's has you covered. Visit ggrill.com to find the nearest location, because here it's not just dining, it's an authentic Mexican experience you won't forget.
And this Friday, we've got a Guadalajara's sweet deal for you. You can get a $50 gift certificate for just $25. And this sweet deal will go on sale this Friday morning at 8:30 at WildcatsRadio1290.com. Tune in to DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290 Thursday afternoons to compete in the Miller Lite Pigskin Challenge, where you can win money by placing a bet on the right team this football season. More info at WildcatsRadio1290.com.
I'm Taylor Bishotti with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. The semifinalists for the 2025 Pro Football Hall of Fame class have been announced, with 6 of the 25 modern-era players being first-time eligible. Among them are Eli Manning, Luke Kuechly, Terrell Suggs, Earl Thomas, Adam Vinatieri, and Marshall Yonda. Meantime, 49ers tight end George Kittle says he's playing Sunday against the Packers after missing last week's game with a hamstring injury. Buccaneers receiver Mike Evans, who has missed time with a hamstring injury, returned to practice as a limited participant and is trending towards playing Sunday, according to head coach Todd Bowles. Chiefs running back Isaiah Pacheco is making progress towards returning after fracturing his fibula in Week 2, per head coach Andy Reid. Bears running back DeAndre Swift is dealing with a groin injury, and head coach Matt Eberflus says the team remains hopeful Swift can play Sunday against the Vikings. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
Find what you love, love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Guides in the know and prices so low, it just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
With curbside pickup and delivery available, you'll always find what you love, only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Did you know that Wendy's has any size soft drinks for just $1? Yeah, any size, anytime. Like $1 Coke, $1 Sprite, or even $1 strawberry Fanta. Okay, could we maybe switch up the sound effect, please? Because I'm losing it. Wow, no, not that. Any size soft drink for just $1? Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. A la carte only. Not valid in a combo. Exclusions apply.
DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Dennis' second free throw is good. So she's got 3 with 8 seconds to go, and into the front court come the Knights. Williams with 4. Everybody on their feet here in Stores. Drive to the hoop. Shot is missed. And a record has been set. From ground zero to 59 conference championships, 23 Final Fours, 11 national championships, win streaks of 70, 90, and 111, and now the all-time winningest coach in the history of college basketball. Geno Auriemma, 1,217 wins in an 85-41 victory here in Stores tonight.
History for Geno Auriemma, the longtime women's basketball coach at the University of Connecticut. Congratulations to him. What a career and what a laundry list of accomplishments we just heard there.
It doesn't make sense, if you hear it all listed out like that.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Not at all. All right, we had a chance to hear from the ladies, the championship ladies of Arizona's triathlon program yesterday, including their head coach, Wes Johnson, in just their second year, going down and taking the title away from the rival Sun Devils. Let's hear what they had to say when they met the media to talk about their championship.
Thank you all so much for coming. It's been, a whirlwind the last week or so for sure. I went straight on a cruise with my family, and nothing keeps you as humble as being with 4 kids under 9 that don't care at all that you just won a national championship on a cruise without service. So, it was great though to spend that time with family, and but being back here on campus, just reliving all the excitement and riding the wave of that win has been really fun. So especially with all these athletes.
First,
both for all student athletes. Can you just say like what it means, you know, to win this national championship for each of you?
Yeah, for sure. Do you want me to start?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I would say it means kind of the world in a sense. Like we kind of get wrapped up in a lot of this stuff, and it becomes kind of our life for the fall semester. So to top it off like that is amazing. But like just our whole team is like a family in that regard. So I would say it's just one of the most surreal feelings.
Yeah, just as Kelly said, it's something we did together as a whole team, including like girls who were not racing. We did it also for them, and yeah, it was amazing feeling. We knew that we have a good chance of winning, but it was very hard, and there were a lot of very strong teams, and we were able to bring it home. So it's amazing.
Yeah, like it means the world. I feel like we're still kind of in awe that it all happened so fast, and that like it's only our second year of like everything, and like we could do so well. But I think just with like the support of not only our team but just like Arizona like as a whole, just when we came back and we went to like BDK for the first time, everyone was just like clapping, and then there's like teams and coaches like we didn't even know that they knew who we were would like congratulate us, and I was like, whoa, this is like kind of a big deal. But I think it's just we're like so grateful that it could happen.
Coach, at what point did you figure that, hey, you got a pretty good team on your hands this year?
You know, I think after recruiting, you know, the freshmen and also everything we established last year, I had a very good idea that this was possible. And then once we arrived in the first couple weeks of this semester, and we had our training camp in California before school started, it became very apparent how incredible this group is and how well they work together and how talented they are, but so much more than just talent, just who they are as people and how coachable they are. And that's why just few weeks into the season, we had our mantra of why not me, why not us? You know, yes, a lot of people wouldn't expect a year in their second year of their program to win a national championship. But after I saw this team in the first few weeks, I thought in my head, why not us? Why can't we? You know, there's no limits. So let's go for it.
Molly, to start with you and go across the row. What made you want to come to such a young program?
I think like I wasn't really set on coming to NCAA. Like I'm from Canada, so I kind of just like assumed I would do university at home. But then I did one of our like junior races here in Florida, and Wes reached out to me after I competed and was like, "Hey, would you be interested in like possibly being part of this new team?" And I was like, "Oh, whoa! I've like never thought this was like a possibility." So I like, it was very like new, and I kind of just thought that I trusted Wes, and I trusted that like this team would be what I needed, and to like even pursue past college, I knew it would set me up well. So I think I was like a no-brainer to come.
Brian, go ahead.
Yeah, for any of you ladies, I think what I read was that they had to do the swimming separate from the other stuff because of something that had happened to the course with a hurricane. How did that change just your preparation? Did it actually make it easier on the second day when you didn't have to do all three things at once?
I mean, yeah, it changed a lot of things. First thing was that we knew the swim is going to be much harder because it was like the day before, so we were practicing also like to swim very hard till the end, and also like this ending of the swim sessions. Also, another important part was like the first transition is going to be very important, and also running into transition. So we were practicing also all these the day and 2 days before the race at the course, which was very helpful.
Coach, how do you handle injuries and with that mentality? Because I've heard that a lot of times it can just happen, and so what do you do for that?
How we handle injuries? Yeah, I think we take a strong preventative approach, you know, with what we do through strength training, and we have an amazing athletic trainer who works with them daily and comes to all of our sessions. So I think we have a very good preventative approach. Triathlon, this is a very dynamic type of cycling with riding in packs, so there's always possibility of bike accidents, which did happen this year. We had one athlete break a collarbone who was also one of, could have been on this national team as well. So it just shows the depth we have. But I think it's just we take that preventive approach, but we're also prepared for when it happens to take care of the athletes through our resources of athletic training and what we do, getting the athletes back on track to being healthy again. I think we have a really good approach with that.
David, go ahead. One for Molly and one for Coach. Molly, if I'm not mistaken, you guys normally do all three disciplines on the same days, swim and then bike and run.
Yeah.
So I noticed that the shoes are already attached to the bike.
Yeah.
Who does that?
I think it's part of triathlon. So like as soon as you're into the sport, you get used to the new equipment and everything. But it's just like the bike shoes have like a clipless pedal that's attached, and then you use like rubber bands to like hook it onto your bike so that they're flat, and then you'll just run with it. And then as soon as you're on your bike, you get your feet in right away. So I think it's just something you get used to.
Kelly, how long does it take to kind of get used to that? To put your feet in there and get the bike going?
You chose the right person for this one. I started triathlon 2 years ago, so I learned this all as kind of an adult. So I would say it takes some getting used to, definitely, but I was really lucky in the sense that actually Molly is one of the best technical bikers we have on our team, so is Margaret. So just watching them, I mean, it's like you're running with your bike and then you jump. So there's a moment where like you're holding onto your handlebars and you're like in the air, and then you land on your bike, and then you put your feet in your shoes. So yeah, it definitely takes some getting used to.
And Wes, Molly was just talking about
And that was a chance to hear from the ladies of the U of A triathlon team who won the national championship down in Florida a couple of weeks ago. We'll let you hear more of that coming up. You can head over to our website, wildcatsradio1290.com. A lot of great information from the ladies on how they really built this thing so quickly to find themselves in a position to be the best in the nation in terms of triathlon. And again, it sounds like that's going to be a championship sport coming up starting next year. So like this event, this national championship event this year was put on via USA Triathlon. Whereas in the future, if it becomes an NCAA championship sport, then it would be handled by the NCAA. So
it seems like, DK, it's not a huge cost forward sport, right? So I think you could be added to athletic departments around the country. Obviously, the equipment for the bikes, for instance, but relative to maintaining an actual building for the sport to take place, it's something that athletic departments could add. And I think we said 42 is the number that they had last year.
Right.
I don't know what the threshold is, but yeah, it seems like it shouldn't be too hard for a lot of, and it's gaining in popularity rapidly. So it makes sense that they would have enough athletic departments added to their schedule to make it an official NCAA event.
There you go. We'll keep an eye on it as things start to progress and the Wildcats, again, ascend to being the team that's at the top of this sport as it transitions from emerging to the NCAA championship side. Fun stuff ahead for Arizona Triathlon. DK on the Sports Tip, much more coming up for you straight ahead. We're going to chat with Matt Muehlbach, top of the hour, 5 o'clock. Also, I got some tickets. Cricket gave me some tickets to give away to you. We'll do that next. Cricket getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. With collision center reported Campbell and Glen and Campbell, Valencia and Camino Verde and Valencia, also Coachline and Silverbell and Coachline Boulevard. Some slowing on westbound I-10 approaching and passing Valencia. For your weather, 51 our overnight low, sunny, 84 tomorrow, and about 79 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Black Friday is back at Lowe's with up to 50% off select major appliances, plus an extra 10% off on select major appliances like Whirlpool. Valid 11/6 through 12/4. Selection varies by location. See Lowe's.com for details.
You know the joke. Why is Christmas like your job? You do all the work and the fat guy with the suit gets all the credit. We understand. That's why you might need a new sleigh. And you can do it right now during the Red Tag sale.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Hey, Wildcat fans, Arizona football is here. Catch head coach Brent Brennan as the Wildcats enter their inaugural season of the Big 12 Conference. We need you to be part of the action, filling the stands and cheering on Arizona. Secure your seats for all 7 home games with season tickets, or pick the plan that is best for you by calling the ticket office at 520-621-2287 or visiting ArizonaWildcats.com/FB. Lock in your tickets today. We'll see you at Arizona Stadium. Bear down. Go Cats.
Hey homeowners, are you ready to chill out and go green? Goodfellas Air Conditioning can help. Introducing our latest lineup of energy-efficient systems featuring the new R32 refrigerant. It's cooler, greener, and better for the planet. You'll enjoy lower energy bills and a smaller carbon footprint. Not a fan of change? Goodfellas has a surplus of reliable R410 systems available. Unsure about what system you have or have questions? Give us a call for a free inspection. Goodfellas Air Conditioning, keeping it cool, keeping it green, and always keeping you comfortable.
Cheers to a great day and this ice-cold Corona.
You know what would make this day even better? My grandma's carne asada.
Or your grandma here with us, making carne asada.
She does love a cold Corona.
Throw in some dancing.
Oh, we can watch the game.
I'll drink to that.
So a backyard concert with football, food, dancing, and Corona?
And your grandma.
Or we could keep it simple.
Simple is good. Want a Corona?
Thanks. Salud to the perfect day.
Corona, la vida más fina. Get your Corona at ordercorona.com. Relax responsibly. Corona Extra Beer, imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
No two people learn the exact same way. So how did Babbel become the award-winning language learning app? We thought of you, all of you. Take Sierra. As a visual learner, she uses Babbel's wordplay videos.
Today I'll share a quick lesson on shopping in French.
Merci beaucoup. Keith is a be in the room with real people kind of learner. So he loves the live online classes with our language experts.
Okay, class. Vos está pronto.
Estamos prontos.
However you learn, Babbel makes it easy. Try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Quick, she's over here. I don't know. I just found her like this.
Yeah, she's banged up, but she'll be fine.
Oh, thank God. What can I do?
Just need the keys. And, sir?
Yeah?
Your car's gonna be fine.
Thank you.
Mobile detailing from Recon Auto Detailing. Tired of wear and tear on your vehicle or just tired of cleaning it yourself? We'll come to you. Book with us online and see why we have over 1,100 5-star reviews. Recon Auto Detailing. ReconDetail.com.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rockin' K. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills, enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. 6 model homes are now open to tour at Del Webb at Rockin' K. Here, life is about more than just beautiful homes. It's about the experiences waiting outside your front door at this new 55-plus active adult neighborhood. LiveRockingK.com. Designed by nature. Proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
When you dine with us at Guadalajara's, you're getting so much more than just delicious Mexican food. You're diving into a full experience. Feel the vibrant energy of our authentic Mexican ambiance as soon as you walk through the door. Join us any day of the week for fresh, flavorful weekday lunch specials with crisp ingredients and bold flavors. And as always, fresh table-side salsa made to your liking. On the weekends, treat yourself to our decadent brunch at select locations. It's the perfect start to your weekend. And because there's always a reason to celebrate, don't miss out on our refreshing happy hour specials with over 50 fine tequilas to choose from. Whether you're dining in, grabbing takeout, or ordering delivery, Guadalajara's has you covered. Visit ggrill.com to find the nearest location, because here it's not just dining, it's an authentic Mexican experience you won't forget.
And this Friday, we've got a Guadalajara's sweet deal for you. You can get a $50 gift certificate for just $25. And this sweet deal will go on sale this Friday morning at 8:30 at WildcatsRadio1290.com.
This
Zach Gelb with the Sports Minute. We're counting down the days until the final college football playoff rankings are released on December 8th. And as for the 12 teams that make the final cut, I think the SEC and Big Ten will each get 4 teams in. Oregon, Ohio State, Penn State, Indiana, Alabama, Texas, Georgia, and Ole Miss taking up 8 spots. I also like Colorado to win the Big 12 and SMU to win the ACC. Finally, I have Boise State and Notre Dame claiming 2 spots as well. I'm Zach Gelb.
Hey, sports fans, if you're not calling John Anthony, you're simply missing out. To prove it, I'm releasing your Thursday Night Report absolutely free unrecorded message line, 1-800-244-5506. Pittsburgh-Cleveland tonight is going to be a monster game. I've got the side and total. Pittsburgh-Cleveland plus hoops and college football. That's 5 big plays. John Anthony has you covered. I love to sweep the board. Call now. Hear him for free on a recorded message, 1-800-244-5506. Information wins. John Anthony Sports, #1 against the spread. 1-800-244-5506. You want the information? I've got it. Pittsburgh, Cleveland, plus college football, hoops, and special prop action. I love to go 5-0 with the season free. 1-800-244-5506. That's 1-800-244-5506, or go to johnanthonysports.com.
Sponsored by JFSR Group.
DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
It's Arizona versus Duke. I mean, I think that's enough said right there.
There you go. Arizona versus Duke. We are a little less, or a little more, I should say, than 24 hours away from Arizona versus Duke. In fact, our coverage will begin tomorrow at 5 o'clock from the Hall of Champions Plaza at McHale Center. I'm sure there's going to be a large line of students back up into that area as they try to get in for the game. There's a sleepover tonight at McHale Center. You need to arrive. The doors will open at 9. You can start lining up outside of McHale Center if you're a Zona Zoo member at 7. And the doors open at 9. There'll be pizza at 9:15. The doors will shut promptly at 10. So if you're not in by 10 for the sleepover tonight, you are not getting in. And then it'll be movies and old games on the Jumbotron starting at 10:15. So our question of the day yesterday was, what movie should they show on the Jumbotron? What should be the #1 movie? This voting has come to an end. The winner was Revenge of the Nerds. 55% of the people said Revenge of the Nerds should be the movie. Three Amigos came in second with 32% of the vote, and Hoosiers was third with 14% of the vote. Nobody voted for Space Jam. Surprised nobody voted for Space Jam?
Well, there's no Tucson connection. Right?
There really isn't.
Those other ones do.
No, there really is no Tucson connection.
Space Jam 2 is quite literally, the only thing it has going for it, DK, is it's the most recent basketball movie that we could show.
Yeah.
Right? So
I was never into either of those Space Jams. I don't know that I saw either one of them, to be quite honest with you. I don't think I saw the first one.
You just talked to Cricket about how much you like animal cartoons. Bugs was great. I mean, the whole concept of the Looney Tunes, in that first Space Jam was amazing. I honestly, like I said yesterday, I have not seen the second one, so I can't comment.
Hoosiers, as expected, according as we talked to Desiree Reed-Francois yesterday, and she said Hoosiers, and her staff kind of looked at her like she had antennas growing out of her head or something of that nature. It's like, Hoosiers? These kids aren't going to understand what that's all about. That's a little bit too old for them.
The best line from that movie is
Hoosiers?
Is when he measures the gym when they go to the state championship game. Yeah.
That was a good one.
So good.
That is a very memorable one. For sure. Have you, what was I going to ask you? Oh, gosh, I forgot just that quick what I wanted to ask you about.
I'm sure it's very important.
Let's hear from Toby Awaka, who talked about the students sleeping tonight at McHale Center.
Hearing that they're camping out like a whole day before, I haven't really had too much experience with that. But I think it's cool, and it's just a testament to, the fans that we have here and how much they care and, what they sort of mean to this program.
There you go. Toby Awaka had a chance to hear from him a little bit earlier today at the press conference. He and Tommy Lloyd, Tobe on the Duke Blue Devils coming to town.
You kind of understand the pageantry of that whole program and organization, who they are. You know, you don't really take that lightly, but at the same time, you just have to sort of stick to the principles that have sort of founded our program and what, you know, we sort of hang our hat on and move forward with that. Obviously, you know, giving full respect to our opponent, you know, in the midst of that.
How important are these games for college basketball to have two programs like Duke and Arizona do a home and home and have an opportunity to play in front of a home crowd on a Friday night?
You know, it's a great thing. You know, I think both sides, coaches included, but obviously for the players, like, you know, we're competitors, and that's sort of what, you know, we want at this level, playing the best of the best. And, you know, last year, I know that we were able to get it done at their place, so we know that with them coming here, you know, they're looking for sort of a vengeance, and, you know, it's going to be exciting.
It is going to be that. And, again, the fun and festivities start tonight at McHale Center with the Student Zona Zoo Sleepover, which will begin when the doors open at 9. You can start lining up at 7 o'clock. And then they're going to be let out at 7 in the morning. We'll let the kids out, and there's going to be donuts and Chick-fil-A and biscuits in the morning. So breakfast, and then you can line up for the game. So bring your homework, bring your laptop, and you'll be, because you're going to be lined up for about 12 hours. It's going to be like kind of New Year's Eve, where you're going to be in that one spot for a long, long time. Hopefully it won't be like New Year's Eve and they won't shut down all the bathrooms. You'll have somewhere that you can go to the John.
Also nice of the U of A athletics director, Desiree Reed-Francois, to pass pizzas out.
Yes, there'll be, again, pizzas at 9:15. Yeah, doors open at 9, pizza at 9:15. Desiree will be there. I was surprised when she said that that's past her bedtime. I would think that she, you know, being an athletic director, you're probably up a little bit. But she probably gets up early.
Well, the clue, I think, is how much she runs, DK.
Yeah.
And I think my experience is most runners are early risers.
Early people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm not a runner.
I was.
My alarm goes off at 8 a.m. and I'm upset.
I was up at 4 a.m. and running 10 miles for like 10 years of my life.
Gosh.
Not anymore.
Not anymore, that's for sure. All right, 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. Let's hear one more thing from Toby Awaka. He's going to be maybe one of the folks that's going to be charged with trying to shut down the Duke super rookie Cooper Flagg, and he talked about that today.
Great talent. He's a great talent, great at sort of using the ball screen to his advantage. You know, great to dribble spin coming down the lane. But he's a winning player. He's a winning player who makes winning plays, and you know, we just have to be cognizant of him, you know, when he's on the floor.
Yeah, one thing we haven't really talked about, DK, is the biggest plus that I've heard from scouts about Cooper Flagg is his motor. And he's very dedicated to the defensive side of the ball and always has been, like his whole career through high school. Came in with a reputation of being maybe better at the defensive side than he is the offensive side of the court. But his reputation, DK, is 100% on every single play. And being 6'9" and whatever he is, 230, he's a big dude. And throwing his weight around in there, you better not lose track of where he's at, because he's going to be moving the whole game.
We had some breaking news at the top of the hour. We want to update you on what is happening in Huntsville, Alabama with the Pima soccer team. Pima went to the half with a 2-zip lead over Northeast from Nebraska. 9 minutes left to go. The game is now tied 2-2. So Northeast has gotten a pair of goals in the second half to equalize things with Pima. So the final 9 minutes now, we're in the final 9 minutes. It is 2-2. Winner goes to the national championship game. So we'll keep an eye on that happening right now in Huntsville, Alabama, at the home of the, I don't know if they call what they call that minor league team down there anymore, the Huntsville Stars, if they even still have minor league baseball. I spent some time in Huntsville when I was on the AA circuit during games. They've got they're very. I think they have like a rocket center there or something that I went to once, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. They do.
Yep. So very into the space scene down there in Huntsville. 2-2 with about 9 minutes to go. Pima and Northeast. So we'll keep you up to date on that as we go into the 5 o'clock hour. Coming up in the 5 o'clock hour, we're going to talk to Matt Muehlbach. Matt will join us, the longtime analyst on the Arizona Wildcats radio network, as well as the Pac-12 network. Does games on TV as well for ESPN Plus now. We'll talk to Matt Muehlbach, get his thoughts on Arizona Duke. He played in this rivalry back in the day.
3 times.
Yeah, from what I understand, he was pretty good down the stretch of one of those games.
He was pretty good every time he was in an Arizona uniform, DK.
There you go. And Kelvin Ifan, don't think Kelvin played against Duke, but he also put on the basketball uniform as well as the football uniform. We'll get his thoughts on both the basketball team's game against Duke, as well as get his thoughts on the football team's game coming up against TCU and Sonny Dykes and Company on Saturday in Dallas, Texas. Going to be fun. Going to be a fun weekend of athletics. Also, we've got Arizona volleyball tonight. They're on the road at Colorado. They're trying to win I believe it's like what? They've won 3 in a row. So they're trying to win a 4th straight match, as they're kind of in the same situation as the men. They really need to win out in order to at least have a chance. And even winning out, as we mentioned earlier in the week, even winning out probably doesn't guarantee them a spot in the NCAA tournament, but it sure would help. If you're hot at the end, you might sway some folks on that selection committee to give Arizona an opportunity to go play in the postseason for the first time in a number of years. So they're in action tonight at Colorado. Also, you've got coming up tonight, you've got Arizona. No, actually, that's tomorrow night. I'm sorry. It's tomorrow night. All right, we're joined by the third member of our crew, and that is Cricket. And Cricket, because this is the final day of our week in terms of DK on the Sports Tip shows, because we'll be in basketball pregame tomorrow night, Cricket is back to tell us what is happening this weekend. Should we give the cry? Is it too early to give the cry for the weekend, or can we do that?
It's not too early for those students lining up at McHale
That's
right
true.
now.
So it is the weekend. Woo! What's happening this weekend here in Southern Arizona?
Well, tomorrow night, the Big Bad Voodoo Daddy Holiday Show. Tomorrow night.
Voodoo Daddy.
Yeah, Big Bad Voodoo Daddy.
All right.
Some swing dancing tomorrow night at the Fox Tucson Theater. El Tour Day Tucson is Saturday. That starts at 7 a.m. at the TCC. Should wrap up around 4:30. El Tour Day Tucson going to be going through and expect road closures.
Oh, that's right.
A lot of road closures. Yeah.
We never talked about that.
Yeah. Corona Day Tucson, Green Valley, Sahuarita, and Vail. There is a hot air balloon fest on Saturday at the Rialto Racetrack from 2 to 9 with a car show, food trucks, and tethered balloon rides. And on Sunday, Tucson Holiday Ice starts on Sunday, runs through January 5th. All the details about the hours go to tucsonaz.gov and search for Tucson Holiday Ice.
And don't forget, Average White Band playing tonight down at the Fox Theater. If you like some good kind of jazz fusion from the 1970s. I had a chance to see them, mid-90s. So it's almost 30 years ago. But they are still playing. They've been around since the 1970s. Scottish funk, as it's been called. Average White Band. Great group. Great group. Go ahead and check them out down at the Fox Theater tonight if you have an opportunity. I'm going to be watching football because the Browns take on the Steelers, and we've got that game coming up for you in about 34 minutes with coverage starting right here. All right, Cricket, get the folks home now as well.
All right, from the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. Collisions reported Tangerine and Innovation Park Drive. Possible collision, possibly involving a bus, 22nd Street near Columbus. Valencia and Camino Verde clearing Campbell and Glen, and also Silver Bell and Coach Line. Some usual busy traffic southbound La Cholla at Ajo, also at Ajo Way and Mission Road. 51 our overnight low, 84 sunny skies tomorrow, and 77 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio, 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Big O Tires. It's a Big O Tires Save a Buck sales event. Honk if you love saving bucks. Right now, buy 3, get 1 free on 4 select Cooper, Nexen, Nitto, National, or Sumitomo brand tires with installation purchase. Offer ends December 8th. Offer details at BigOTires.com. Big O Tires, the team you trust.
When you donate a toy,
we will donate a toy. It's our annual gift back to our community.
We're collecting new unwrapped toys for Toys for Tots.
And for every toy you donate, we'll donate another. For every dollar you donate, we'll match it.
At Alaskan AC, we believe every kid should have a gift under the tree on Christmas morning.
That's why we've partnered with the Marine Corps Toys for Tots once again. Since 1947, they've collected over 670 million toys, putting smiles on the faces of over 300 million kids.
And your donations stay right here in town. You can stop by our offices or hand your donation to one of our polar bears when they are at your home.
Alaskan AC loves having fun, but we're serious about helping kids. So serious, we're matching your donation.
We'll donate a toy for everyone you donate
and match cash donations dollar for dollar. Let's make sure every child has a Merry Christmas.
For our location or to schedule service, find us at AlaskanAC.com.
Wildcats Radio, 1290 and Goldberg and Osborne. The injury lawyers are proud to support the University of Arizona radio broadcast. Your Arizona Wildcats will take on TCU this Saturday. Get all the info at WildcatsRadio1290.com.
Hey Wildcat fans, Arizona football is here. Catch head coach Brent Brennan as the Wildcats enter their inaugural season of the Big 12 Conference. We need you to be part of the action, filling the stands and cheering on Arizona. Secure your seats for all 7 home games with season tickets, or pick the plan that is best for you by calling the ticket office at 520-621-2287 or visiting ArizonaWildcats.com/FB. Lock in your tickets today. We'll see you at Arizona Stadium. Bear down. Go Cats!
The garage is more than a place to park your car. It holds prized possessions, and for most, it's a bustling entryway to the home. That's why LiftMaster designed the first ever opener with a built-in wide-angle camera and two-way audio, so you can see what matters and secure what's inside. Ensure your family and prized possessions are secure with a reliable garage door opener that's built to last and powered by MyQ for smartphone control. The team at Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates are your locally owned LiftMaster professionals. Visit KaiserGarage.com to learn more.
Wish Black Friday deals lasted longer? Good news! At Oro Ford, Black Friday deals last all month long. Get $10,000 off MSRP on new 2024 Ford Expeditions, Ford Edges, and Ford F-150s. And Oro Ford's the only Ford dealer with 0 city sales tax and no dealer add-ons. Stuff your plate with savings all November long at Oro Ford's Black Friday sale. Take the easy drive from anywhere in Tucson. Restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
William is one of millions of Americans who uses GoodRx to save on the cost of their prescriptions.
My oldest daughter, Camilla, 2 days old, she had to have open heart surgery. All of a sudden, she's on 5 different medications. It adds up at the end of the month. Me and the pharmacist got so tight. She said, GoodRx save you a lot of money. Saving that extra $200-300 a month. We're able to do all these extra activities, so it puts less stress on our household, and it puts less stress on our pockets.
Download the free app or visit GoodRx.com and start saving today. GoodRx user compensated for their time. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance.
If you've been too busy to sign up for your health insurance plan, it's understandable. It's also why there's Health Markets. At healthmarkets.com, you can see the plans available to you and even speak to a licensed insurance agent. Just dial pound 250 and say Health Markets. They'll answer your questions, and when you're ready, even help you apply. Just dial pound 250 and say Health Markets. Getting your new health insurance plan could be easier than you think. Health Markets Insurance Agency, Inc. is licensed as an insurance agency nationwide except in Massachusetts.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. We are the sports station that Tucson turns to for all the latest news when it comes to Arizona football, along with Arizona football play-by-play. We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Hey, good morning. You're heading to the airport, right?
Yep, thanks for checking. I like the car. How long have you been a rideshare driver?
About 3 years now. I really enjoy it.
Isn't it hard to make money these days with the price of gas being so high?
Not for me. I use Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get real money back when you get gas with the Upside app?
Yep, I get real cash back every time I get gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make around $200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code SCORE for an extra 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code SCORE for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code SCORE.
Live from the CNWT.
Wait, what's the CNWT?
Central Northwest Tucson. Duh.
It's DK on the Sports Tip with your host, David Kelly.
Radio. Just when I thought I was out, they drug me back in.
Featuring J.W. Madden.
Don't tell me about flip-flops, man. I'm a native.
David Amata.
Hey, that's Dragon Ball to you.
And Cricket getting you home with traffic and weather.
Camp on Melt Lemon, not in the left lane on the freeway.
Here we go! And now, a man who has not one, but 3 first names, David Scott Kelly. It's the Wildcat Hour, which means it's time for our Arizona Insiders.
Am I late?
No, my boy, you're just in time. Each weekday, Wildcats Radio 1290 brings you all the latest news and opinions of U of A basketball and the Big 12. So bear down, Wildcat Nation, and let's talk Arizona basketball. Our Arizona Insiders are brought to you by Coors Light, an official corporate sponsor of Arizona Athletics. Coors Light. Choose chill.
All right, we've got a big one coming up. Friday night in Tucson. It is Arizona and the Duke Blue Devils at McHale Center. First time since the 90s, the early 90s, that Duke has made a trek here to play in Tucson. Let's talk to a gentleman who was on the floor the last time that happened. Matt Muehlbach joins us now. And Matt, I know you've got a pretty good memory when it comes to this kind of stuff. What do you remember about that night when Duke came to town all those many years ago? And was it a how big a deal was it back then?
DK, thanks for having me on, man. I'll tell you, like, it was as big a deal back then, at least it seemed like, as it is now. Like, it was Duke, and Duke, moved the meter and still does. And, we had actually played them 3 years in a row. So this was the 4th game in a 4-year span. So there was the rivalry was brewing, and it was, kind of in the middle of it. We had beaten them in McHale. We had beaten them in New Jersey at the Meadowlands. They had beaten us that year before at Duke by 2 points in Cameron. So we were coming back, back to Tucson, and, it was huge. And it was weird too, because, I'd say the one weird thing was, I think if my memory is correct, it was like in the middle of February. And so we're in the middle of conference. They're in the middle of conference. It was probably a week maybe where we played ASU. So it was a real unique game. Not that this isn't in November. I mean, but I think anytime you get two, powerhouses, and I think the other thing that was very compelling about it, and is compelling about this one as well, is just the cross-country route. You just don't see very often, these really high-end top 10 programs that schedule a home and home. And, from a super duper powerhouse ACC team, same with a PAC team, now a Big 12 team. And I think so it just created this really compelling rivalry and big game.
You brought back a memory for me, Matt. Obviously, we went to school during the same time frame in both in the Pac-12. That week when you played your rival, there was often that second game, and it was usually a pretty big game. You would schedule a big Power 5 school. We didn't call it Power 5 back in those days, but a big conference school from another part of the country. And when schools really don't do that anymore, and I think I'd love to see something like that come back in college basketball to get a chance to play a huge game like that in the middle of your conference season would be really cool. Who did you guard? Who do you remember guarding on those teams?
That's a really interesting question because I played different positions for a few years. I was playing the 1 or the 2 a lot, and depending on certain matchups there was a time where I was playing the 2 a lot, but I was playing the 2. So, Matt Othick, my buddy, my good pal, he was guarding Bobby most of the game. And I guarded Bobby a lot. I'd get on him. I probably guarded him a lot more the year before because I was playing a lot more 1 that season than that year. But so I think I guarded, they had 2 guys named the Davis. We called them the Davis brothers, although they weren't even related. And so I guarded one of them, and I guarded actually kind of an interesting thing. Obviously, Christian McCaffrey, as great a player, one of the great players in the NFL right now. So his dad, Ed McCaffrey, Ed's brother, and I'm forgetting his name right now. Ed's brother played at Duke, McCaffrey, and I can't remember his first name, but he was a great player. And played, I think, a lot of years in Australia as a pro, and so I guarded him a lot, and we'd switch on to guys. The crazy part of that, I'll tell you, one of the craziest things was Grant Hill was a freshman on that team, and so Bobby Hurley and Christian Laettner, of course, was I believe a junior or senior. Laettner was a junior. They got all the press. It was sort of the Hurley Laettner show. And little did you know, we're watching tape, and I'm like, who the hell is this guy? That looks like Sean Elliott, but better, and he's a freshman. And now that's Grant Hill. Like, who's going to guard this guy? And he was, it's funny, too, because he wasn't dominant in terms of, like, his impact on every game in terms of, like, what he was, even a year later than that or 2 years later. And couple years later, he was the number 1 pick in the draft. So, I mean, but, on such a great team, he was just this freshman and kind of a third. And once you got in the game, though, I'm looking around like, holy crap, this is the best. This is going to be the best player on the floor in a few years.
Chatting with Matt Muehlbach, Arizona guard, class of 1991, Arizona and Duke. So did you guys hate Christian did you guys hate Christian Laettner? I mean, was it that type of feeling, or did you have like just the respect of him as being a really great player?
It's a really good question because I will answer that also with, another question would be, did we hate Duke? Because Arizona fans have come to dislike Duke so much. And I'll tell you, as a player, like, I totally just respected him. I loved this mini rivalry that was occurring, and we didn't play him at that point. We hadn't played him in the tournament or anything, NCAA tournament. But I had no problem with Laettner. Like, I didn't guard him, so he didn't bother me. He didn't really. My good friend Don McLean for UCLA. That's who I hated. Like Don talked incessantly during the game, and back when we had our rivalries, and Christian really didn't say much. He was pretty cool. Bobby was super cool. Bobby barely, Bobby just played, man. He played hard and barely said a word. He never said a word to me at all. Like, never talked trash or anything. That team was, in a lot of ways, we felt like we were watching a mirror image. They had incredibly high character guys. Coach K was an incredible coach, high character coach. And just the way they played, though, they played the right way. They played so hard And in fact, I'd say in my 4 years, there wasn't a team that played maybe the Vegas teams of 90 and 91, but no one played as hard as Vegas or that Duke team, those Duke teams. They played so incredibly hard, and they were just fierce competitors. And I remember after the double overtime game, I felt pretty good during the regulation. I think because of just the hype and everything, felt fine during both overtimes. And I'll never forget after the second overtime that night, I mean, I just collapsed for about 3 days, it felt like. I think, apologies to my teachers, like the next 2 days, I think I'd never done this, but I think I just skipped class for like 2 days. I was so physically and mentally like shot, and that was because so much emotion and physicality and so forth. But it made it like, to me, I look back, maybe the most fun game I ever played in ever, and for sure, I'd probably say for sure at McHale Center.
What Matt, what kind of impresses you about this young freshman Cooper Flagg we're going to see Friday night?
Well, I was lucky enough to be in Vegas when the USA team was there, and I hooked up with my buddy Kerr, and I went over there and watched him play. I saw him play against the U.S. Olympic team, and I guess, to answer your question, what just impressed me at that time was I can't believe a kid of this age is so comfortable playing against, dream team players. He just looked like he seemed very indifferent about it, didn't seem nervous, and he seemed very aggressive. He wasn't at all tentative. He just was like, oh, okay. Like he was playing anybody, but it happened to be Kevin Durant that was guarding him. And he was like taking it at guys and I think his ability to shoot threes, because when you have a guy of that size, that once you can shoot the three, which he was doing, and he handles it, and it was the combination of the size, shooting. He could do everything. And I'm looking at him, he's like 17, 18 years old, so it blew me away. And I didn't even know who he was at first, and then asked somebody and found out. But yeah, he's pretty special. I think for everybody, he's still a freshman, right? Even though he played against that dream team, I mean, he's still trying to figure things out, and just like anybody, is like a guy like Carter Bryant who's so talented. It takes time.
Matt, we want to take you down a little bit of a walk down memory lane here real quick.
Not a bad record. Hasn't lost a game in 4 years at home, Matt Muehlbach. That's a remarkable thing to be able to brag about when you're 60 years old. Oh, wow.
Are you still bragging about that, Matt?
I knew right away, I think, where that was going. I remember that years later. I think I didn't of course know about it during the game. I didn't know about it after the game. No one told me about it. And years later, I was watching the replay, and I heard him say that, and I'm like, damn, I'm getting pretty close to that age right now. Like that, it's coming to fruition. It's actually happening. Keith Jackson called it. And I remember Keith Jackson and Dick Vitale did the game. That made it even more special. Jay Billis is doing the game tomorrow with, I think, Dan, is it, I'm blanking right now. Dan, they're two of the best announcers in all of sports, not only just college basketball, but all of sports. And so that's going to give it, I think, the hype and what it deserves from the announcers. But, Keith Jackson, Dick Vitale, they were two of the icons of the time. And I remember them talking to me before the game about the home streak. And, you do a little math on our calendar. Like I said, so that was late in the year. I think that was in February. And we only had about 3 games left. And if we, looking at our schedule, it looked like we were probably going to win those 3, at least on paper. So that was the game. And Duke knew that we had the streak. I don't think they knew much about my streak as a player, but they knew we had the streak, and they put everything they had to try and knock us out because of the streak. And That was probably my last. We were down at the end. It looked bleak with about 30 seconds to go, and somehow the McHale magic came through.
Well, let's hope we get some McHale magic here on Friday night to get another win. Dan Schulman is who will be calling the game.
Yeah, Schulman
with Jay Billis here on. I saw Jay. I walked right by him at outside of McHale Center today. He was in there getting his pre-work in. Hey, Matt, we appreciate you taking some time to join us. Look forward to talking to you again as the season goes along.
Thanks, DK. Appreciate it. It's going to be an amazing night tomorrow night.
It is.
Appreciate it.
Thanks to Coors Light for bringing you today's Arizona Insiders on Wildcats Radio 1290. Coors Light is an official corporate sponsor of Arizona Athletics. Choose chill.
All right, I got 2 tickets. I got 2 tickets to see the Roadrunners on Saturday night. Caller number 1 right now, 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is going to get a pair of tickets to see the Tucson Roadrunners take on the Calgary Wranglers, 7 o'clock face-off at the Tucson Arena. 2-game weekend series. It'll be a game tomorrow night as well as a game on Saturday. Caller number 1 right now, 520-848-1290, gets those 2 tickets to see the Roadrunners. We'll talk to the captain, Calvin Ifan, next. Cricket getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5s with your traffic and your weather.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio, 1290 traffic and weather together. Collisions reported Pima and Columbus, and then another collision reported at Columbus and 22nd Street, that one involving a bus. Other wrecks, First and Roger Road, with some slowing on northbound First Avenue at Roger Road, and also clearing Tangerine and Innovation Park Drive. 51 our overnight low, 84 sunny tomorrow, and a 75 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Ready Whip. This is the sound of holiday happiness. Yeah, Ready Whip. Fun to use, fun to eat. You're not ready for the holidays? Without Ready Whip.
NFL Thursday Night Football plays here.
Barkley, shake and bake move, cuts it up the middle to the 30, to the 20. He's gone! Goodbye, Barkley! Touchdown, Eagles! Good night!
This Thursday, it's the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Cleveland Browns.
We understand the significance of divisional play, and I'm excited about getting this group into this week, man.
We are Tucson's home for the National Football League. Wildcats Radio 1290.
I'm Chelsea Messenger, helping you beat the books with BetQL. Week 12 of the NFL gets underway tonight as the Browns host the Steelers in an AFC North battle. The weather is expected to be cold and windy tonight in Cleveland, which means the ground game should be in full force for the Steelers. Najee Harris has his rushing prop set at 67.5 tonight, and the BetQL model is expecting him to go over that number for the best bet in tonight's game. I'm Chelsea Messenger. Bet smarter and beat the books with BetQL, and download the BetMGM app today.
Whether you're ordering wings for the game, whipping up a 7-layer dip, or ordering pizza, there's something about football that makes you want to eat. And this football season, Uber Eats has the best deals on game day food. No matter what you're craving, from 2-for-1 pizza to buy one, get one wings, Uber Eats will be dropping new deals each week, all season long. Uber Eats, official on-demand delivery partner of the NFL. Order now. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
It's November and the weather is cooling down. Now is the time to have your furnace serviced to ensure that it's operating safe and efficient. We also have a $79 garbage disposal service. And check out our monthly plumbing specials on our website. Call Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing for all your plumbing and heating needs at 520-492-0748 or picturerockschooling.com.
Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
Escape the ordinary and indulge in a world of excitement at Park Place Mall. Discover endless possibilities with over 100 stores, restaurants, and entertainment options. Join them for the monthly Kids Club, Yappy Hour, and seasonal events. From fashion to food, it's all at Park Place Mall, where you belong.
Make sure you download or update the Wildcats Radio 1290 app. We've got the entire state covered like no other sports radio station in Southern Arizona. Plus, when you have the app, you can cover U of A sports with Wildcats Radio 1290 anywhere and everywhere you go and out of town, too. The mountains, the beach, working out, or maybe even...
Oh, no. Turn that off.
Download or update the Wildcats Radio 1290 app today and never miss a moment of sports analysis. Well, maybe an occasional moment. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Westwood One presents Today in Women's Sports, sponsored by Allstate. In college basketball, defending national champion and top-ranked South Carolina won their 43rd game in a row yesterday, dominating Clemson 77-45. The streak is a program record for the Gamecocks, having previously won 42 straight before falling to Iowa in the 2023 Final Four. That was the last time South Carolina lost. Last year, they went on a revenge tour, capping off an undefeated season with a victory over Caitlin Clark and the Iowa Hawkeyes in April's national title game. 5 of South Carolina's 43 straight wins have come this season, and head coach Dawn Staley continues to lead the Gamecocks to greatness.
Our players make a commitment to team, they make a commitment to us, they make a commitment to each other, and when you do it that way, you can have, this type of historical moment.
With Today in Women's Sports, I'm Maggie Gray on Westwood One.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like, to check you have a full tank of gas first before road tripping through the desert.
Empty? Seriously? Maybe I can walk.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds.
Maybe I can't.
You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
I'm Tiffany, founder of Harlem Pilates. When I couldn't find Pilates in my neighborhood, I started a studio from my studio apartment. Chase Inc. helped me grow from 1 Pilates studio to 3. Because when you start small, you're going to need some big help.
With the Chase Inc. Business Cash Card, you can earn up to 5% cash back on business essentials, so your business can go from here to possible. Chase for business. Make more of what's yours. Real business owner compensated for their participation. Cards issued by J.P. Morgan Chase Bank. N.A. member FDIC. Subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Let's talk some Arizona football and Arizona basketball with none other than the captain, Kelvin Ifan, joining us. Kelvin, it is going to be another exciting weekend, man. These last 2 weekends with big basketball games and big football games. I'm going to have to. We just heard from Matt Muehlbach, who talked about after they played Duke, he had to sleep for like two days. I think I might need to sleep for a couple days after we get done with all this excitement this weekend.
Yeah, man. The football team ended up beating Houston, so it's making it exciting for that TCU game because, it puts a little bit more weight on that game because if those guys win that game, then you're one game away from what I don't want to talk about, the bowl chances, right? But man, what bigger game could you could ask for the basketball team? Get to go against Duke, a player like Cooper Flagg. That program in itself just is what it is. So just having an opportunity to play them is what you want. That's why I always say you come to Arizona to be on that type of stage.
All right, so growing up in Dallas-Fort Worth, what's the aura of TCU? Was this, obviously they're a much better football program probably, and I think they've become in this century. Was TCU a big deal to kids growing up down there?
No, not at all. Not at all. Not growing up. Growing up, it was University of Texas or Texas A&M or then after that, Michigan and Notre Dame. A lot of the Texas kids get recruited heavily outside of the state. So it was Texas A&M or Texas, or you had to get out of state. So yeah, now TCU, man, for basketball, actually, Coach Tubbs ended up taking a job there when I signed with U of A, and then he came out to me real hard, but. I stayed with the U of A.
So then, as somebody that's from that area, what's been kind of your thought on the rise of this program? Obviously, to a couple years ago when Sonny Dykes was able to take them to the national championship game. Is it shocking for people in Dallas to see that where this program has come from and been able to go to?
No, man, I'm not shocked at all, man. Some turned in the 90s where they really started to recruit the inner cities of Dallas, Oak Cliff. Some of the actual suburbs of Dallas became, a lot of the African Americans end up, I guess, moving up, doing better for themselves and moving to those neighborhoods. And I think a lot of those kids end up getting into the SMU. You see how well they're doing now.
Yeah.
And now they're at TCU. So it's just a lot of talent, real talent-rich area, and they're actually getting some of those kids to stay at home, whereas in the past those kids would leave.
Chatting with Kelvin Ifan, the captain, today. It's Arizona and Duke on the basketball court on Friday, Arizona and TCU on the football field on Saturday. What excites you about this basketball game, Captain, and the opportunity for this team to get another game against Duke after beating them in Cameron last year, and to have this program coming in here to play in Tucson?
I'm excited for the guys because especially coming off a loss, you get a character check. You get a guy like Caleb Love coming off an L, not really playing well. He was real visibly disappointed on the sideline. So, I expect for him to bounce back because that's what I expect of him. And all the guards didn't play well. So, I'm excited for them to play against a guy like Cooper Flagg and then that whole team because, they 5-star all over the place. I got a big 7'2" guy in the middle that plays for the African national team that's, tough inside there. I ain't want to butcher his name. I'll be ready for it on Friday. I ain't want to butcher his name right now. But with that said, man, they just bring it's just these type of games, man, just get you excited. It's these type of games is what you expect in the NCAA tournament, in the Elite Eight, and the Final Four. So as many opportunities you can get to play these games, especially early in the season before getting ready to go into Big 12, is just huge as a coach and as a player.
So coming off, obviously, a game you mentioned that Caleb did not play well, what's going to be important for him in those first few minutes Friday?
I think really, number one, they're locked in defensively. I think they didn't play well actually assisting the ball. So actually get your teammates involved. Try to get your teammates some easy baskets so that way it takes pressure off yourself from scoring. But whenever you get that opportunity, try to attack the rim a little bit. I would love to see him get into the paint, get 2 feet in the paint and get some layup, play out 2 feet, maybe get some pull-ups or get to the foul line to get himself going. He only shot 6 threes last time, so I don't think he went crazy, but he was 0 for 6. So, just would like to see him get into the paint and just get some easier opportunities.
Well, it's going to be important for him to bounce back. I mean, people are looking at to see how he performs in these big-time games. You want to be the guy that's there when the lights are really on, and so going to be really important for Caleb to show himself in this game on Friday night. All right, Kelvin, we got a long 48 hours coming up. We'll be on the Champions Plaza tomorrow for the pregame show from 5 to 8, postgame, and then we're right back at it 8:30 in the morning on Saturday for the football postgame. We may all be sleeping on Sunday after this is said and done.
Oh, man, for sure, for a couple of days.
There you go. Kelvin, we'll see you tomorrow.
Oh, yes, sir, brother. I got
Kelvin Ifan, the captain. Well, again, our coverage will begin at 5 o'clock tomorrow from the Champions Plaza on campus at McHale Center. It should be a pretty raucous atmosphere because I can only imagine that line, I don't know how they're going to structure the line for the Zona Zoo. I don't know. They may not take it up into that area. They'll probably take it down the block the other way. But there's going to be a lot of kids waiting to get into that game tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm sure they better be there by 9:59, DK. I'll tell you that much. Also, just announced unanimous MVPs in both the AL and the NL before we get out of here. Shohei and Mr. Judge.
There we go.
First ever DH MVP.
And it is going to penalty kicks in Alabama after 2 overtimes, 2-2, Pima and Northeast heading to penalty kicks for a berth in the national championship game. We'll keep you posted on that on our social media accounts, so stay with us for all that through the evening. That is going to wrap up our show for today. Thanks to Matt Muehlbach. Thanks to Kelvin Ifan. Thanks to Brian Jeffries. For J.W. Madden, for Cricket, my name is David Kelly. That's our time for tonight. Thank you very much for your time. Coming up next, the National Football League. My Browns, Dragon Ball Steelers. Enjoy the game. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Duke, Arizona.
The following is a presentation of Westwood One Sports. If it's the NFL, it's...